checking on my phone right here just to make sure that the volume and everything's okay and we don't sound too hot or anything. So yeah, that sometimes happens. Do 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 do. Okay, in Japan. Yep, there we are. There we are.
We're on? Good.
Yes. Live. Okay, here we go. Let me just make sure that the volume's okay. Oh, nope. Wait. So yeah, this
Oh,
do. Okay, in Japan. Yep, there we are. Are we too close to the mic?
good.
Yes. Wait,
I
gonna
can't
get an
tell
echo.
from, yeah, we are. It's going to start happening. It's going to catch up.
I hear my voice. Just make sure that the volume's okay. Oh, nope. Wait. So yeah, this
Here it comes. There's the echo.
ah. Yes. And maybe we're too close. Maybe we should just sit back. I think it'd be easier to sit back. Yeah, I think like this. So we're like this far away. I think like maybe like an arm's length like this.
All right, bet.
That's good. I don't know which one's going on. Should we listen to that Johnny or that Johnny? Or the words coming out of my mouth now? Isn't that weird?
That's fucked up, man. You're going. You're, dude.
Yeah. So that's good. Have you seen Spaceballs?
Yes.
This
Yes.
reminds me of
Yes.
Spaceballs.
Yes.
This is
Totally.
not now. This is then.
Totally.
Then's then. Then is
This-
now. But what about the future? The future's in the future, which is not now. Okay, I'm so confused. Okay, let me turn this off. Okay, we know it's recording. Everything's going good. Okay, cool. Isn't that trippy?
That's trippy.
I heard they're making a sequel.
They're making a sequel. The question is this: is Rick Moranis coming back to play Dark Helmet? Is that what is the character's name? Big Helmet?
Darth Helmet.
Darth Helmet? Yeah, yeah.
You
Is
know-
Rick, because he hasn't performed in a long time.
Yeah. I think what's gonna happen is kind of what happens for a lot of sequels that are like maybe 20 years out. I think basically he's gonna come out of retirement and then his son is gonna be like the
Totally.
new Darth Helmet.
Totally.
And his son is gonna
Totally.
be some guy that's in his early 20s or something.
Right.
And then after that, they're gonna have a franchise, like a whole new like series of
Yes.
Spaceballs, or maybe like a Netflix series, or maybe something that's cheap on Hulu or something or
Right,
whatever.
right.
Hulu, you ripped me off, so I don't love you. Netflix, yeah, you're okay. But yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
I probably
I
just
think
killed
that
my
track.
career.
You might have.
Yeah, Hulu's like, oh,
Hulu's like, yeah,
that Johnny.
You just got red listed.
Oh.
Yeah, you're red listed and blackballed on the
Oh, my
Hulu production potential list.
Well, geez. Well, they never answered any of my emails and complaints. But anyway, that's not here nor there. Okay, all right. So let's go so we can make sure that we're both in
Are we in frame? We're in frame.
Yeah, there we go. And then I'm going to put this over here just in case somebody sends us a comment. And if we get
Oh, cool.
comments, that's
We
going to
can
be
see
over
it.
there and stuff.
All right.
So if they ask us any questions, which sometimes happens, I did one show where like three people were asking me questions and stuff, and I was just fucking around. And yeah, I just been like half the time like trying to make a point, and then I'm answering questions. And then it was just basically I was like having like three different conversations with three different people.
That sounds like what just happened with the phone.
Exactly. It was audio visual mayhem.
It
It was
sounds like-
anarchy, completely anarchy.
I'm not a real believer that the brain can multitask. I think that's like people who say they can multitask, that they're not. It doesn't work that way.
It kind of does. Can you do this?
No, I can't.
You can't do that?
No, maybe I'm
can't?
too dyslexic.
I'm dyslexic too. Wait. No.
See, yes,
Pat.
You're
I gotta really.
you're supporting my hypothesis.
Oh,
This
okay.
supports my hypothesis.
I don't have any brain power for the show now. I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Join the
Okay.
club.
All right. So, all right, you ready?
Yeah, man.
Okay, let's do this. I think maybe I'm a little bit, maybe we should move you over like that. There we
Okay.
go. It's we're like kind of balanced. All right, cool. All right. I don't want to be the center of attention. This is your episode.
Oh, I thank you.
Okay. All right, so here we go. On a one, a two, a 1, 2, 3, 4. What's up, faders? Welcome to yet another action-packed episode of Got Faded Japan, and I am your host, Johnny. And as you fine folks know, Got Faded Japan is about two dudes, booze, Japan, and the news. And in this episode, we do not disappoint. Because in this episode, faders, we are here with the man, the myth, the legend. We are here with Matthew. Once again, Matthew, welcome to the show, bro.
Hey, Johnny, nice to be back.
Dude, I'm so happy. Dude, faders, Matthew is an awesome guest because he comes with booze. And when I say he comes with booze, not just one bottle, not just two bottles, 3 bottles of some absolutely beautiful Nihonshu. So what we're going to do in this episode is me and Matthew, we're going to talk about podcasting. We're going to break down making events in
Mm,
Japan and the
mm,
ins and outs of that. And we're
mm.
also going to sample Nihonshu. We're going to have a Nihonshu sampling so
Word.
you guys out there know what to buy in maybe on the internet or when you come to Japan or something, you know what to buy, you know what to drink when you go to the next time you go to a sushi restaurant. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, and I want to say thank you to everybody that's supporting us on Patreon. You guys are super awesome. You guys keep the lights on and you keep me able to do this show and stuff. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. And this is episode number 780. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's 780. Yeah, that's a good
That's a
number.
good number.
That's a good number.
It's got a
All
ring
right.
to it.
Oh,
So
well,
should we introduce the Nihonshu?
yes, yes, yes. I'm done talking. All right, you talk, I'll drink.
All right, so look, we have a little selection here. I will bring these out. So let's start with probably the best known for some people back outside of Japan. This is Dasai 45.
The Psy 45.
Yes, this guy right here.
Boom.
Um, I'll be honest, this one to me is the most like wine. I'm more of a sake like Nihonshu guy myself, but I figured since we're gonna do variety,
Yep.
let's do the variety thing up. So this is our kind of our standard wine like Nihonshu. It's a Junmai Daiginjo. All right, so
Mhm.
that's what we got there. And then let's see the next one we got here. Oh, this one's a little bit more unique.
Mm.
What we have here is the Yuki no Bosha. And here, get a look at that. Look at that. Yuki no Bosha.
Beautiful
And
label.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Um, and where is it from? What do we have? Yuki no Bosha is Akita Ken. So it's from
Mm.
Akita, so north of here. And we're looking at something that's gonna have a little body to it. It's not gonna be terribly dry, but it'll be interesting tasting.
Did it say 55%?
No, no,
What is
no, no,
that?
no, no. No. Oh, that's the it's the blend of yeah, it's
16%. Okay.
60%.
Okay. 16%.
Yeah. No,
I
that's
saw, no, it's like
there was
55%. Like,
55.
oh my God.
You're gonna be roughed up, baby.
Oh boy.
You're gonna be roughed up.
Oh, thank God I live here.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
I'll
my
have to-
podcast.
and then here's one. This is Suige, right? And what I love about Suige. One of the things I like about Suige is the name Suige means drunken whale,
Cool,
which is
right?
that's a great name. Yeah.
That's a great name.
And this one's a dry, this is Katakuchi. So this is one of my more regular, like if I'm popping through the grocery store on my way home and I want Nihonshu to have with dinner, I get Suige, but not this label. So this one is new to me. I'm not always a Katakuchi person, like dry, but I'm curious because I've never seen this Suige before, so I thought we would give it a go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, why do they call it the drunken whale?
That's how you feel after you've been drinking a bottle of it.
Got it. Are we really? Yeah, let's drink a bottle of it. Let's do
do
it.
what we do.
Let's do it. I'm not
Okay.
driving.
So, what do you feel like, Johnny?
You know what? Why don't we go in order? Let's start off with the Desai,
Okay.
and then yeah, we'll just go from there.
All right, let's do it. Let me get this
Cool.
open. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, Desai is really popular globally.
It
I mean,
is.
it's so popular where like the price has been increasing quite a bit here in Japan and stuff.
It has. You know what? I felt like here, let me pour this for you. I feel like a sommelier.
You
I feel like I am kind of a sommelier today.
Oh my goodness.
All right. I feel like I thought that maybe about 5 years ago
Uh-huh.
we hit that point. Here you go. Let
Thank
that open up a bit. I felt like 5 years ago we hit, yeah, I know. It does smell like a nice polished rice. Kanpai.
Kampai.
Um, it hit a kind of high point. It's almost got it's got a kind of a fruity smell, doesn't it?
It does have a fruity smell.
Oh, that's not bad though. What do you think?
You know, the smell and the taste is similar, but quite different. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's got a slight burn at the back of my throat, but it's not like it's so mild.
Yeah. I will say I haven't had it in a while, and it's kind of nice as a starting point, as a point of reference.
Yeah, no, this is a beautiful Nihonshu. This is absolutely fantastic. My goodness. You know, the thing about this,
Tell me.
I don't think I would like to have this with food because I think this is
Yeah.
so beautiful. I just want to drink this by itself, you know?
I think that's a good point. Yeah, I'm a Nihonshu lover. I know you love shochu.
Mm.
And the thing that for me that's like really I dig about Nihonshu is I like Japanese food and I like fermented foods.
Yeah.
Like, like in Japanese, there's all the kind of pickles and,
Like natto and
yeah.
kimchi and stuff. Yeah.
And it goes really good with Nihonshu, right?
Mhm.
But to your point, this is not the kind of Nihonshu that like the flavor is kind of got a complexity that's not really for food.
It
So,
is very complex. That's a great word to use. Yeah, I think the flavor. Do you think the flavor? I mean, I haven't had 45 in a while. I
mm,
usually get. I try to when I drink Dasai, which isn't too often. I go for broke. I go for like 23. I go for like the most expensive one, just because I'm like, if I'm gonna drink this stuff that's already expensive, I'm gonna get the
get the
best
good one.
bottle.
Yeah, get the
Yeah.
good stuff.
Can you explain the difference between was it 23, 35, 45? What those numbers mean?
I could, but I'd be giving you a line of bullshit.
Oh, okay. Let me explain it.
Do
Okay.
you know? Do you know?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, good. Go for it. Go for
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I
Cool.
know a lot about Nihonshu production, but I don't know why Decide numbers them that way and what the significance is.
Okay. So if you look right here at this bottle. This one right here, it says Desai 45, right?
Mm.
So I think a lot of people, when they see that, because it's in English, they might think this is from like 1945 or something, or maybe 45 proof, but that is incorrect. This is called Desai 45 because, all right, when you make Nihonshu, you have a grain of rice, right? And so what they do is they polish the rice all the way down to 45% of that
Yeah.
rice is polished away, right?
Yep.
So it's kind of like it's smaller, 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 smaller. It's getting closer to the core, right? And so that's what this number means. 45% of the rice, that
That
grain of
makes
rice is
perfect
polished.
sense. Yes.
35 is 35%. So like out of like 100, you only have 35% of that rice, right? And the thing is, rice is very interesting because it's it has a lot of different flavors in it. You
Yeah.
know, people think rice tastes like rice, which is true, but the thing is like a grain of rice before it's made into Nihonshu. Let me take off my phone and keep on getting this my watch. Oh, it's
Yeah.
technology. But the thing is
And
like
I'm flipping
23
mine
would
up.
be 23 like I guess 23%
Percent
of a
of
piece of rice.
the
Yeah.
remaining from the polish down.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. And that's why it's more expensive.
Yeah. So, yeah, for the hardcore heads, right? When you get down to further into the core of the rice, the amount of the sugars in the starch are greater.
Yeah.
And for that reason, you get a different quality than when you have the bulk of the outer part of the grain.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense. And I didn't know that the number was the percentage. Thank you. I learned something.
Hey, well,
Hey,
we're gonna learn a lot from you today.
thank you.
So yeah,
I'll see
so
what I can
that's
do.
all I know about Nihonshu. I'm a shochu guy. I love shochu. Oh, I love shochu. But I do love this. This Nihonshu is absolutely beautiful. You know, I'm curious. Like you usually when I get like a drink, I'll drink a drink within like 5 minutes. I'm
Mm.
a fast drinker. I talk fast, I think fast, I drink fast, I spend fast. But the thing is, it's just like I think if we had this open for like
Mm.
maybe like 10, 15 minutes, I wonder if the smell and the taste would be different.
And also, your glass is different than mine, much like wine,
Yeah,
right?
see.
Like, yeah, I went for a different glass. I think that yes, the it will aerate a little bit. Like if
Mm.
you move it around, it will react a little bit like wine. Yeah, look at that. Nihonshu is kind of interesting. Have you ever been to a Nihonshu factory? Like where and seen like Nihonshu getting made?
I've been to one, but I didn't go inside. They didn't have a tour or anything
You didn't
like
have a,
that.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
so yeah, I was in Niigata, but yeah, I didn't go. I didn't have the tour where I got to see all the cool stuff or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, in
Tell us about your experience.
I was in Miyagi Ken and
Miyagi Ken.
yes, and I went to the Ichinokura.
Hmm.
That's a Nihonshu label. I went to their factory, and they have windows down and a whole tour for people to kind of check out their operation. And
Cool.
the thing that was really made me want to drink Nihonshu wasn't just that I already like Nihonshu. It's that from watching them, you could see like clearly like they have all their different areas and they have the places where they're handling the fermentation and where they go from different phases of the fermentation into the refinement and like seeing how clean that operation was like
Mhm.
that factory was sparkling and gorgeous and like as somebody who drinks Nihonshu I was like you know what I don't know that that's my favorite Nihonshu but anything that comes from a factory where they really like make sure the place is super spotless and clean and everything
Mhm.
looks so nice yeah, man, I had it was really interesting. And then afterwards, they let you take a couple of tries at different things and,
Really?
yeah, it was fun. It was good. It was good. Actually, I read, the comic Oishimbo? Do you know Oishimbo?
Never read it.
Okay. It's a pretty classic Japanese manga, right?
Hmm.
And it's all about food,
Hmm.
and it's got a lot of like social statement put into it. In fact, I think the story ended where the main character was affected by radiation from Fukushima Daiichi. And the cart, yes, I'm not shitting. And the writer had left Japan and was living in Australia. And this comic had gone, there's even a television show. It had
Pete.
gone, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
Wait, you were here when the earthquake happened, right?
No, actually, I was in New
Oh
York.
yeah,
I
that's right.
wasn't
We
here.
talked about this the last
No,
time. Yeah, yeah, I
I,
was here. Yeah.
I wasn't
Uh,
here that point, but I wasn't here much long. It wasn't too much longer after that that I was here.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, it was a kind of a big statement, and a lot of people were not happy with him, the mangaka, because of that, right? Like that was really something that
Got
was
too
kind of divisive.
controversial, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but
Hmm.
in earlier episodes, because it ran for like 25, 30 years, right?
Yeah.
And he really gets into food and all kinds of different elements of the food, like where it comes from and how it's sourced. And it's pretty cool. Like there's a love for like cuisine in it.
Mm.
And there was an English language adaptation that collects certain storylines that focus on certain things.
Hmm.
And one of them was just about Nihonshu. And
Really?
yes, yes, there's a whole like collection of, and so that was years ago before I really understood anything about Nihonshu. That was my introduction to understanding like, oh, some of them they actually add some starter to to get the alcohol going, and that's the difference between
Yeah, it's called
ginjo.
koji.
Yeah, yeah, and well, the koji is one part, but then even from the koji, there's like an alcohol starter that gets it stronger faster, so they can get it into production.
No.
Yes, and so
Really?
yeah, so that's
Wait, it's
why.
not more sugar? You think it'd be more sugar.
Well, it is, but it's already started into the process
Hmm.
so that it kicks it into high gear. So that's why when you see those like 1 cup ozeki, the 1 cup.
Yeah, I know 1 cup. I don't mess with that
Yeah,
stuff
right,
anymore.
because it's gasoline.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, faders, if you want to get lit quickly on the cheap, one
One
cup
cup
is your way to
ozeki,
go. Yeah. Try
100
to,
yen.
I know. Well, not anymore,
Not
but yeah.
anymore.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You see homeless people drinking that, and you're just like, man,
Do you
if
get?
these guys are drinking that, it's got to be good, right?
Oh shit! It's also good for running your car
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, it
and
just
cleaning the paint off your brushes.
off
That will
your
definitely.
teeth. Oh my God. You got cavities? Hey, just drink this. Yeah.
Totally.
You won't even have teeth. Oh my God. But this stuff right here is quite the opposite.
No,
This stuff
yeah.
right here, just like now, I was thinking before this podcast, maybe we should like gauge these like 1 through 10.
Mm,
But I think all of these are going to be absolutely beautiful. So
mm.
let's not gauge these. Let's just talk about the flavors, the
Sure.
textures, the mouthfeel,
All right.
the smell.
I got an idea. So we started with this, right?
Uh-huh.
And since you said the first thing that you mentioned was like this doesn't really go with food,
It
right?
doesn't. No, this is too beautiful.
So okay, each time I want you to
But,
think, yeah, 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 yeah,
but,
yeah, but I want you so when we get to the next one, I want you to think about the flavor and what you think it would go with.
okay.
So
All
you're
right.
gonna you're gonna play a little creativity game in your brain.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
Okay, so basically when I drink it, I'm gonna have to think about
Think
what
about
food does it go with? Like
yes.
maybe like steak or chicken
Yep.
or okonomiyaki or
Yep.
sushi, sashimi.
Yep.
Got it, got it, got it, got it,
Yep.
got it.
Grilled fish, raw
Mm.
fish, vegetables,
You're
whatever.
making me hungry, man. Oh man. Dude, you want to hear something about food? Oh
Tell
gosh.
me.
Since we're drinking, oh my gosh. One of my favorite Hokke restaurant, like
Mm,
izakayas,
mm.
closed in Shibuya.
Which place?
I can't remember the name of it and stuff. It's like, it's like one of those like places where you just go, you don't know the name and stuff. It's just like that. That's how it is for me in Japan and stuff. I can't read kanji very well. Sorry. But anyway, it was this place that was right by the Mega Don Quixote. It was right down the street from there, right? Right, kind of like on the corner and stuff that really that led down to like Dogenzaka.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's like this kind of like this like underground little, not underground, but literally underground and stuff, izakaya that had the freshest hoke. It was so big. I mean, it was so fresh. It could talk to you. It was so amazing. Oh my God. And I had a friend that was visiting from Amsterdam recently, and I was like, you got to go to this restaurant. They got the best hoke. You're going to love this place. It's so fantastic. I was hyping the hell out of this place.
Oh
Oh
no.
no! I'm like, we gotta go. We
I know
we
this.
go there, and it's like this trendy kind of touristy kind of izakaya that's full of like just like like really small, cheap, very expensive but cheaply made Japanese food and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And I was like, oh no, it's a tourist trap izakaya now. Oh my God, I don't know where to get good hoke now. I don't know what to do. That was my hoke place. Oh, Yeah, but anyway, that's my Hoke story. Sorry, we're
Yeah.
talking about food. Oh, geez.
Damn, Hoke. What fish is Hoke in English?
Cut?
Is
Is it
it?
cut?
No, 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 no. That's
It's not bass, is it?
no, that's
Bass,
Suzuki.
bass. No.
Yeah. That's Suzuki. Hoke wa nani?
Shit
Wow.
or not?
Yeah, I don't know. Shiranai.
I
Shiranai.
don't know on
It's
it.
a white meat fish though.
Yeah, it's so
It's
good.
good.
Oh my God. It's good unless it's bad. Bad hook is the worst. When it's
Mm,
all dry and meaty, and you're like, oh my God, is this jerky? Oh,
yeah.
oh gosh.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, man.
No,
Sorry,
that's all
sorry.
right. That's all
Alcohol,
right.
it gets me talking.
That's all right. So,
Hmm.
what else has been going on with you, man? I haven't seen you. I saw you. Art Tank was the last time I saw you.
I saw you at Tokyo Art Tank, and
We talked, but we I haven't seen you since then.
yeah, no, 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 no. And I wanted to talk to you more at Tokyo Art Tank, but as I said before and stuff, there's like a million people there. I'm taking care of sales and I'm taking care of a lot of people and stuff. Oh gosh, and I'm doing it again in a couple of months. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Tokyo Art Tank number 14 is going to be from November 17th to the 23rd. It's June, and I've already booked all the artists.
You already did? Oh wow.
Dude, I've already booked all the artists. I've already booked all the DJs. I haven't booked the bands. I've booked half the filmmakers. I've booked the yoga instructors. I've booked because the thing is everybody's contacting me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
contact. I mean, like just like earlier today and stuff. I had a couple of artists send me like their portfolios and stuff, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I gotta have. I've got two Tokyo Art Tanks in a year, but I'm at the point where I'm like, should I have three? Should I have three? Because I could have three. You know, it would be no. I mean, it would be a big problem.
Okay.
My stress is out of my mind. You know.
Are you at a stage with it
Mhm.
where you could have somebody assist you in administering and organizing?
No,
That's
I
the
mean,
key.
yes, but no. But see, every time I've hired an assistant
Yeah.
or I've worked with other people, they either ripped me off or they stole money or basically they did their own thing when I told them what to do. I'm like, you got to do this and stuff. They don't do it and stuff. I think maybe because I always hire friends or I hire people that are friends or
Right.
something like that. And yeah, and you know, I've had so many bad issues with that where it's basically where like we're and the thing is also I work like I said like at the beginning of the episode I think fast, I work fast, I make decisions fast, I'm a fast guy, right? I drink fast, so I'll have another one,
There
sir.
you go.
But so
On that note,
yeah, on that note, whoa,
there you go.
oh, geez, if I drink that
Well,
one fast, whoa, it's gonna be, oh
we got
my
well, yeah,
God,
I
no,
know.
no, we don't have to drink the whole bottle. We don't have to. No, no,
Well,
no.
I know we got to try the other ones.
Yeah, we got to try the other
Look at
ones.
me, I'm all ambitious.
My God. Well, then if
Here,
we're gonna drink one full bottle today, decide's the one to go. Well,
I
from
want to try the other one.
at this point.
Yeah,
But
we're moving on to the next one pretty soon here. You can, if
mhm.
you want to, if you want to load me up on that glass. I've already had, I'm a glass up on you already
Well,
too.
this is kind of a fatter glass, right? So,
Mm.
but anyway, so the thing is, I work so fast, and I've worked with other promoters before and stuff, where like I teamed up with them, or I kind of like built like a kind of like me plus an assistant or somebody helping me out and stuff for like big projects. And I'm not going to say any names, of course, but the thing is, it's just there's something that needs to be done,
Mm.
and I know exactly how to do it. And I'm like, okay, we got to do this. We got to call these two people. We got to have this guy do this, right? And but the thing is, if I'm working with somebody, then I got to tell them, right? I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this and this and this. And then when I do that, then there's like a debate, like, oh no, we shouldn't do this. We should do this, this, and this. I'm like, no, we should do this. And then I've got kind of then I gotta like negotiate,
No,
even
that's
though I know this is A is the right way to go. We got to go A. It's gonna
you
be
can't.
successful. But then there's B and C and D and stuff. I'm like, no. And then, but see, that's the thing though. But this is how it is and stuff, you know. And like, I mean, if I'm paying people a lot of money and it becomes like a job, then I can be like, you do this or you're fucking fired, you know. But in this kind of a situation, in this kind of a business and stuff, a lot of it's kind of friendly, and like a lot of promoters run into this situation because a lot of my friends are promoters. Me, like the guy that I was hanging out with earlier and stuff. That
Yeah,
guy does like huge promotions for like a hardcore bands and
yeah.
stuff. And I got friends that organize like film events. I got friends that do like comedy events. I got friends that do music events. And there's so many events and stuff that it's just like promoters kind of like, you know, just know each other and stuff, you know?
What about from the
So,
other side? Like, if
uh,
is there maybe like a young artist that is trying to figure out how they want to promote their work and as a practice in learning to do that, that they might be the kind of person who would be good at being helpful?
Oh, like a young artist that wants to promote their artwork, so they
They're
wind up
learning the
helping,
ropes. Yeah, and like you can
but
help
they
them understand like the process of putting something together. And in that way, maybe they'll be less opinionated in how things operate.
well, I think that'd be more of a band event kind of thing. Art events and band events are completely different.
Totally, for sure.
Yeah,
I'm
and
thinking of from the visual artist side. I'm
yeah,
not talking from the musician
yeah.
side. Yeah,
In Tokyo Art Tank actually is it's a mega event. I mean,
I
it's
know,
like a
man.
week-long event, and on every single day there's a different event. Like there's a film festival where we're gonna pretty much like I mean it's already sold out. I mean, there's gonna be a ton of people there. The yoga class, we got yoga classes. We've got I think we're gonna have. I'm not sure yet, but we might have a creative writing class.
Cool.
Or it's a creative writing class or maybe a painting class. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do both on the same day or something. But yeah, and everything's free, of course.
Do you do it at that location that I was at for Art
Oh
Plank?
yeah, Gallery Conceal.
At
Yeah,
Gallery Conceal,
yeah.
you do it over there.
Love Gallery Conceal. The owner of the building, the neighborhood, the management, they all love me and stuff.
Good.
So I'm in like Flynn with those guys and stuff.
You could
So
ride your bike over there in not that long too.
I could ride my bike. Not today. I'm drinking, but oh my
Not,
gosh. But yeah, I could ride
not
my bike there.
advocating, yeah,
And
drunk
no, no, no.
biking.
But also, like another thing is, it's just like, yeah, it's so near, it's so convenient. It's in
Totally,
Shibuya. It's right by the
totally.
station, you know. And yeah, other places have approached me, and they're like, listen, you should do Tokyo Art Tank at our place and our venue or our nightclub or something. And the thing is, I got to say no because it's just like, I'm so loyal to to Gallery Conceal because they've just been so cool to me, you know.
Yeah, and I'm sure that you have a rhythm down for doing it there that makes it kind of something that's not so hair pull, even though it's a lot of work to get so many parts and pieces all lined up.
Well, yeah, and also the whole foreigner thing, because when you have like an international event where like, I would say like maybe 60% of the artists and musicians and everybody are Japanese, but 40% are like like non-Japanese and stuff like that. So for them to have like, like foreigners come in and stuff that,
Yeah, man.
we got a bar that's pretty awesome. And so people come in and they drink too much and stuff. And sometimes there's problems and issues. And a lot of venues and stuff where like the tourists are having problems, like, I mean, like nightclubs, there's like fights regularly in Shibuya and stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, I mean, Harlem, gosh, dude, from what I hear is happening at Harlem. Wow. But it's just like, I think that, I handle everything very professionally and they trust me.
Yeah.
So we've got a really good working relationship,
That's important.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's really important to have a good relationship with like the venue because if you have the opposite, it is an absolute nightmare and your stress level goes from like 90 to like 2000. Trust
Yeah.
me. And whenever you organize an event, the stress level is just absolutely I mean, you're constantly on edge because my events are pretty big. I'm working with
You
like
are, yes,
80,
yes,
80
yes.
people. Like, I mean, artists,
Emphatically.
musicians, bands, DJs, yoga instructors, all these people, plus all the guests that come in and stuff. It's
Absolutely.
just like there's like so many people that come in and that I have to work with and stuff. So it's just like there's a lot of stress and then my main objective is to make sure everybody has a great time. I want everybody to enjoy themselves, to check out the artwork. I want the artists to have a great time to sell artwork. I want people to come in and experience wonderful stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's just a lot of pressure, for
Yeah.
me to try to create that kind of an event and stuff. This is a lot of inside baseball, by the way, faders. That's what happens when I have two glasses and Nihonshu.
And it's not even, yeah, we're just getting started.
Dude, here, let me give you some of
Sure,
this, and
sure.
we're gonna
Give me,
kill that,
yeah,
everybody.
let's do.
My cup is like way.
I,
Look at these cups.
it's my fault. I totally loaded you up on that one.
No, 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 no. Yeah, you're trying to get me drunk, huh?
Yeah, I'm taking advantage
You
of
want all my secrets?
all
All
the
right.
secrets.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The real secret is paying gold coin. Forget about Bitcoin, gold coin. Remember gold coin?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bitcoin came out, and all of a sudden there was like gold coin, and all these stupid. I run live on YouTube. Watch your
You gotta
mouth.
watch your language.
Sorry, guys. It's family friendly.
You got three of the letters out, but not the fourth.
All those friendly people like stopped investing in whatchamacallit, Bitcoin and went to gold coin and lost all their money. I had friends. We did this podcast here. There's like these two guys. One became super rich because of Bitcoin. The
Mm,
other guy didn't.
mm,
And I
mm.
interviewed these guys on Got Faded Japan when the whole Bitcoin thing just kind of happened and stuff,
Yeah.
like way back in the day. Oh my God. they were talking about gold coins. Like, Johnny, you got to get into gold coin. Gold coin just came out the other day. That's what you got to get. You got to get this digital wallet. And I'm like, I don't know, guys. I like gold, but I don't know about this gold coin. If you can't touch the gold, I don't get it. They're like, no, Johnny, you don't get it. You're an idiot. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm an idiot. Who's the idiot now, you friendly people?
I went so before I lived here, going back to the time when the earthquake happened, right?
Mm,
I was art directing at a game studio, and a good buddy of mine
that's
who I
right.
worked with, yeah, a good buddy of mine who I work with there, who's a programmer, and I was doing art and design with him, and he at that time, this is before the earthquake, right? So
Yep.
that's
2011. Well, it happened in
11.
2011, so
Yeah.
2010.
So around that time, he was already starting to talk about Bitcoin. He was like, at that
Back
point,
then?
yes. Like
No
whenever
way.
this was first kind of getting going, he was so now let me fast forward this story, right?
Uh-oh.
So so he was talking about it then, and he was real chill, and I was like, man, he would tell me like, yo, you don't need that much money. Just like put a little in and see what happens. Look, if you only put a little in, you're not gonna lose that much anyhow. Well, let's fast forward. So I came to Japan
Hmm.
2013, and since that point in time, I hadn't gone back to the United States until 2022 and 23. I
That's
was there.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while I was there, I stop off in New York
Hmm.
and I have lunch with my old colleagues, right?
Hmm.
And we're having lunch, and he says, "Hey, listen, after lunch, if you're, I had to go run an errand, and if you're still, we're in Manhattan." He said, "If you come by my place," and our other friend was like, "Yeah, all right, I'll join you guys there at about 3 o'clock." And so we finished lunch, and I go to meet him at his place, and it's over by the United Nations building, and it's where all these beautiful old skyscrapers, like the real old ones, are, right?
Like the Empire State Building.
Like, well, yeah, but before predating the Empire State Building, right?
Really?
Like the ones with gargoyles, you know? Yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And so I meet him there, and he meets me in the front of the building, and he's like, "Come on in." And there's a doorman, and we go in, and this is one of those buildings that I lived in New York for a long time. I walked by this building, and I was always like, "Wow, who are the rich people that live in this building?" You know? And we go in the building, and we get in the building, and he pushes the penthouse floor, and he's got his own elevator up to the motherfucking penthouse. Johnny, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I slipped.
Ah, it's okay. A slip here and there is okay. Actually, to be honest, I don't care. But since we're on YouTube and stuff, but I don't know. I don't get paid from YouTube, so fuck them. Oh, dude, I just lost another
I know. There
sponsor.
you go.
Oh, so there's Hulu and YouTube.
Ah,
I'm on everybody's list today, except for Desai. They love
I
me.
know. Well, we did talk them up. It is a tasty nihonshu. I'm
Oh
enjoying
my
it quite a lot.
gosh, yeah, I
Um,
know. Oh my God.
so we go up, and when I tell you, he's got like there must be only 4 units that are penthouses in this building, and from one side you can see the United Nations building, and he's got it's gorgeous. I mean, it's not a huge space, but it's
Yeah.
beautiful. And the bedroom is literally elevated on a pedestal, and there is a quarter of the building available as like terrace space. And like
Wow.
no kidding, there are gargoyles out on his terrace, and he's like growing a garden out there. And like I am not kidding you. I'm
No, no, I believe you. I
yeah.
believe you, man.
And
Yeah.
I was very happy for him, like he was
Big,
right. He was right.
just a little money.
Yep.
Yep. What's that called? FOMO? Fear of
They're
missing out?
missing out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we all missed out on Bitcoin. Yeah, but the thing is, in Japan, we can't really
We
invest in
can't.
Bitcoin. Yeah,
No.
because the taxes here are just ridiculous. They take like 50 to 60%, you know?
Yeah.
So if you get $1 million, like, I got $1 million. No, you don't. You
About
have
400 grand.
maybe, yeah, $400,000. But then
420 or something. Yeah.
but then if you have to pay, wait, I don't know, like I have to pay American taxes
Yeah,
and
you got to
stuff.
pay American taxes too.
You do have to pay American, and then they take
Technically, it
the,
depends. That depends on if
I
you
do pay
have
American taxes.
yeah, you didn't switch your citizenship over.
No, I'm not Jap. Dude, do you know how ridiculous that be? If like if I go to America and they're like,
You
"What's
need
your
a
nationality?" I'm like, "I'm Japanese."
yeah. Well, I mean, hey,
Did
look, it's an
you? Are
option.
you Japanese?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Can I sing? Okay, okay. Let me ask you a question, right?
Yeah, I like this. I
I
think
hope
this is
hope
nice hypotheticals. All right,
this
what do we
is.
got?
I don't want to sound
Suppositionally.
racist or anything. Okay, okay. I've been living in Japan for like over half my life.
Yeah, you've been here longer than me.
Yeah, since like pretty much like the late 90s.
Hmm.
Now the thing is though, if I do now I'm not, but if I did switch my Japanese my nationality over to Japanese and I had a Japanese passport, I mean I already have like a Japanese ID, the
Mm.
Gaijin card, I've already got my driver's
Sure,
license and
that's good.
my I got all the cards and stuff, I got all the identity and stuff like
Mm.
that. But if I switch my nationality over,
Mm.
could I be Japanese? Where basically I could say, "Oh, I'm Japanese,"
Well, you're
because
nationalized, right?
technically
Or
I would be nationally Japanese.
right, right.
But would
You
that be racist if
naturalized.
I said I was Japanese? If
No,
I'm like I'm Japanese, and you're like,
no.
"No, you're not." I'm like, "Yes, I am."
There's a distinction though. You're
Yeah.
not ethnically Japanese, but you're a
Yes.
Japanese citizen.
There you go. Right. So
You're a
say I'm
citizen.
Japanese.
Well, you could because you're a Japanese citizen.
Yeah, because I mean, because I got friends that are Japanese that which called all right. When I went to college, like half my friends, not half, but a lot of my friends were Japanese. I had two
Yeah,
Japanese roommates,
yeah.
and they a lot of like friends of mine got married, and now they're American.
Mm.
So if I ask them if they're like, I'm like, what are you? They'd probably say American.
I don't know. I can't speak for them. I
Well,
can't speak for them.
okay,
I
okay.
get, but I will tell you this, right? Technically, that's what happens when you have something that is both a national identity, right? So
Hmm.
there's a national component to it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's the ethnic component of being
Mm,
Japanese. Like here's an example. Like you could be Jewish, I'm Jewish, right?
yeah.
So that doesn't mean that I'm Israeli, right? Like I'm from
Yeah.
Miami Beach. What do I know about Israel? I never even been.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I don't even like, like, well, that's a whole separate, there's a whole loaded bunch of things.
Got it.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into politics.
Yeah.
Not
Let's
after
not
everything.
yeah, we've already pissed off YouTube and Hulu. Let's not get
Oh
bombed
God,
by,
no,
I
no,
know.
no, no. I read the news this morning and
It's
stuff,
not, yeah.
dude. Yeah, this is the last show of Got Faded Japan. Sayonara. Anyway,
Now we're here in Japan,
yeah.
where you could be born in Japan and you're a Japanese naturalized citizen,
Yeah.
right? And not be ethnically Japanese.
But could you say you're Japanese? Like, well, what if I
That depends. How do you define it?
oh, so no, oh, you mean like how do I define it, or how
Yeah.
do you like people define it? Okay, now I got what you're saying.
Right? Because
So it's
there's two ways that you could be defined as Japanese.
it's a personal thing, huh?
I mean, isn't everything a personal
I guess
thing?
so, huh?
Yo, it's good to see you, bro.
No, so basically, I mean, this is a whole hypothetical, of course.
Mm.
But the thing is, if I said, okay, all right, okay, so let's say if I change my nationality to Japanese and
Mm.
stuff, and if
Mm.
somebody said like a Japanese joke in front of me, and I say, hey, I'm offended, and they're like, why are you offended? I'm like, because I'm Japanese, and they're like, no, you're not. I'm like, then pull out my passport or something. I don't. That's
Yeah, you could.
ridiculous. That's a ridiculous situation.
But okay, the question then is like what makes somebody Japanese? Is it because they're ethnically Japanese or because they are born in the country and recognized as a citizen?
Well, think about America and stuff. It's like the same thing. Like people come to
Sure.
America all the time and stuff that their parents, they're like second generation.
All right. So that at what point
Oh
in
my
time
God, my
am I
brain
am
is.
I am I cracking your skull?
No, I think we drink too much of this to decide.
Well, it's time to move on.
Yes, it is. But okay. You know what? You know what's going to happen? And I know this has happened before, you motherfuckers.
Oh.
So I know we can swear. I don't care. But the thing is though, we're talking about some completely wild situations.
We are.
Completely bizarre stories.
That's
You know
true.
what's going to happen?
What's gonna happen?
You're going to watch a movie or a drama or something on like YouTube or whatever, and you're going to have somebody like in the movie have this conversation. You're like, wait a second. I had that
gonna
conversation with
echo.
Johnny on the
Mm,
podcast.
yeah.
Somebody's going to watch this and listen to this, and this is
Yeah.
going to be a debate somewhere, or this is going to be like part of like a movie or something like that. Do you know how many times I've heard that? I said this one thing one time. I was talking to this one guy a long time about how to be successful. And I said, well, the best thing about being successful is that the most important thing about to be successful is that you got to fail. You got to
Mm,
fail as
mm,
much as you
mm,
can.
mm,
So I highly recommend that everybody in the world just fails fast. The
yeah.
faster you fail, go for it.
Yeah.
And I said that. And then like maybe like it was like 6 months later, I'm listening to this podcast where they're talking about inspiration. This guy's like, yeah, you got to fail fast. I'm like, oh, that's exactly what I said. So this insane conversation that we're having that is completely bananas is going to wind up in a movie or something. I swear to God.
I
Yeah, we should get a percentage of that.
Can we, we
Uh,
have to have some kind of,
Copyright this
yeah,
podcast.
right, exactly.
Can you?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter though, but can you?
We need to talk to an intellectual property lawyer about
Mhm.
that.
Oh gosh, my lawyer's a criminal lawyer. Ah.
And he's an actual criminal. It's not that he represents criminals.
His name is Sal. Oh gosh. So, all right. So, we get this. All right. So, let's do
Oh,
the next
are
Nihonshu.
we
And
going?
then after that, I want to know. All right. So, you asked
Sure.
me about my events.
Yeah,
And then we got completely sidetracked
we did.
about,
That's natural
yeah,
conversation.
that's just how it happens. But I want to know about your events coming up
Sure.
because from what I hear around town, you are doing some magical things here in Japan.
Thank you.
Some things that people here in the city are talking about and stuff. I'm hearing these, speaking of like waves and stuff, I'm hearing waves from people, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is Matthew doing? So let's get into this and let's get into
All right,
that.
finish
Oh
that.
gosh.
Yeah, finish that sip. Take that down. All right. So we're gonna get. We mentioned earlier. So the next one is suige, and we're going a
Mhm.
totally different direction. This is going to be a very different flavor, my friend.
Oh my goodness. So I got to think of the food, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right. All
Oh
right.
my gosh.
Look, I'm a little more gentle with my pour that time. Give it a smell.
Oh, it is dry.
Oh yeah, it's way different. But it's not smack you in the face dry,
No,
like
no,
and
no.
laugh at you with a chuckle. Oh, that's good too.
I'm hard to place. I'm hard to place. It's hard to place the smell. What do you think?
Uh, I don't know. I
It's like a new car smell.
It's fresh.
Do you
It's
get
got a
that?
freshness.
Like when
Yeah.
you get in a car for the first time, it's got that smell where you're like, oh wow, it's a new car.
It does have a fresh thing to it. It's very clean tasting.
Yes. Or well, it smells clean. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna give it a go.
Mm. What do you think?
Oh, it's warm. And it's really dry. This has more of like a white wine, a dry white wine kind of taste to it.
Yeah, it's not as full as that Dasai is, right?
Yeah, Desai is more full-bodied.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
Desai is like not heavy, but it's heavier than this. This is, I mean, yeah, night and day. Even though, I mean, the one thing about Nihonshu is they look the same. Actually, this one's got some bubbles, but that just might
I
be
think
from
it's
the
your glass.
pour.
No, well, this one's a little bit clearer. I do think this one's a little bit more. This one's definitely really pretty. It's got a clean thing going on.
Hmm. And this is the Drunken Whale. This is a
Yeah.
really, really nice Nihonshu.
Yeah, I like it usually, but the grocery store label is different than the one that we got.
So let's show the audience watching us on YouTube the label. So this right here is the image of the drunken whale. Funny, it doesn't really look that drunk. You know, I would think if it was a drunken whale, it would be upside down.
I think
Yeah, he's like,
yeah,
ah, you know?
it would have various problems if it was upside down.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Let's
Yeah, they're
see.
mammals.
They are mammals. So this is Junmai Ginjo. And let's see, what can we tell people about Suige? So Suige comes from, what are we looking here?
Well, what percentage is it?
Yeah, Suige you're looking at 16%, so it's a little bit
Wow.
stronger. Yeah, it's a little bit
Wow.
stronger. Mm,
What's the strongest Nihonshu you've ever had?
that's a good question. I don't generally take, you know what, my friend, when I have Nihonshu, I don't generally consider how strong it is. I consider the taste before.
Okay, I've made that mistake so many times with
Yeah.
beer.
Ah,
Yeah.
beer is because beer, you're chugging it, right? And Nihonshu,
Well,
well, yeah.
kind of, but the thing is for me and stuff, you know,
Are you a beer drinker generally?
yeah. When I go out and stuff, I drink beer. You know, beer or gin and tonics, you know. I mean, at home, if I'm drinking, I don't drink that much at home and not as much as I used to. But if I do drink at home, I like to drink a shochu.
Mm.
Like I had a shochu the other day. It was absolutely fantastic. Fidus, if you go to the Instagram, you'll see the image of it is called Uni, like
Oh,
demon.
yeah.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But the thing is though, sometimes I go to craft beer places. Like
Mm.
one of my
There's one that's right over here, back by the Eki, by the station.
Oh yeah, there's the tap room, which is really nice, and then there's coasters.
Yeah, though I both of yeah, there are two over there.
Yeah,
Right.
I was at coasters the other day and stuff. And the thing
That's
is, like,
fair. Yeah.
I here's a funny thing. I went to coasters last night, and I think I had 4 pints, right? And the thing is, like, I can drink 4 pints, no
Mm,
problem. You know,
mm.
if you have dinner and you have 4 pints, piece of cake. I mean, you feel a buzz, but you're not wasted. Dude, I drank 4 pints and the beer was so delicious. It was so amazing. It was like the most beautiful beer. But I was like, holy smokes, I'm pretty drunk right now. Like
Yeah.
I just had 4 pints. That's nothing, right? And then I looked at the menu on the wall and stuff. Yeah, it was like fucking 13%. And I was like, dude, that's like drinking like 10 pints.
So wait, okay. I have a question. Did
Yeah.
you, when you were growing up in the States,
Yeah.
was beer like, hanging out with everybody, having a beer? Was
Mhm.
that like a thing?
I lived in San Francisco. People didn't really drink beer that much.
I know I'm from Miami. Like this, like beer drinking was not necessary. I mean, I knew people, but yeah, I'm with you. Like I didn't have that beer drinking culture thing.
I never really drank. I mean, of course, I drank. Like I mean, I was a DJ. When I was a DJ,
Sure.
but I would have like all sorts of weird drinks. I think my drink back then, when I was like 22 years old and DJing and shit, I think my drink was like was it a rum and Coke? Yeah, I used
Was
to get a
your
rum
rum
and
and
Coke.
Coke? Yeah.
Yeah, I would never get that now, but back then,
Sure.
it's just so much sugar, man.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
can't I
God.
can't fuck with that now.
I get cavities.
I know.
But back then I would drink rum and Cokes.
Yeah.
And that or maybe a Long Island iced tea,
Yeah,
which is
yes.
another drink I would never
Yes,
get now.
not in a fucking million years.
Dude, if I was at a bar and my friend's like, "Yo, you want to get a Long Island iced tea?" I'd be like, "Hell no."
I got shit to do tomorrow.
I
Come
got
on.
shit to do next week. Oh
For
my God, dude.
real. For real.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. So now, but
And also in the 90s, Long Island iced tea was a thing, like back at that time.
yeah, well
Do people
maybe.
that's we live in Japan. People don't drink Long Island iced teas here, but and I wonder if people drink LITs back in the US now. Is that still a thing? Only if you hang out at like Bennigan's and Fridays.
Mannequins, yeah. Yeah.
Like, if you,
Yeah,
you
yeah, that's true.
if like Applebee's is your like hangout place of choice, is that where you're
If you
I think we've just lost some more sponsors, Johnny.
No, 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 no. We gain respect. We gain respect at this point. We gain sponsors. Yeah, yeah. Hulu's like, okay, we're back in the game. All right, but
I did watch a fantastic, speaking of this, okay,
uh,
back to design.
okay.
All right. And events and more of our area of
I want to know about your.
I know we're getting okay, we're
We'll
gonna
get to
get
that.
there.
We'll
All
get
right,
to
all
that.
right, all right.
This Nihonshu right here is absolutely brilliant, by the way. Absolutely fantastic.
I'm glad. Wow, I'm glad you like it.
Dude,
Glad you like it.
Dude, this guy right here is a Nihonshu guy. Whatever he recommends is absolutely fantastic. Everybody knows this. So when he's got 3 bottles of Nihonshu, they're going to be tens.
All right, all right. So I was gonna talk about, the fern bar thing, about fern bars. That's an expression, right? I
I don't
love
know Fern Bar.
okay, you do because TGI Fridays comes from there's this whole thing in San Francisco, especially.
What?
Yes, back in the 1960s, when bars were trying to appeal to young professionals to come as a place to hang out and meet for dates. But the way that bars were back then was like saloon style, right? There was no idea of having a bar as a location. Well, I guess this does fit into both of kind of the rapport of things that we're about as
Yeah.
like in hosting events and getting people together and communication and connection.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It was hard to get women to want to come into a bar back in those days, right? Because bars were where men went to drink and smoke cigarettes, and they were saloon like
Like the
places,
Flintstones.
like the Flintstones, and like the Old West, and it's still into the 1950s or divey bars that were like only questionable folks might have been visiting, right? So 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 the guy who founded TGI Fridays, and then there was one other bar, and I'm trying to remember what was the name of it. It was in San Francisco though. There was they
Sizzler?
No, it wasn't Sizzler. It's not. It wasn't a chain. But I think it still operates, and it's still open in San Francisco. So I watched a documentary about this,
Mhm.
and what they did was they leaned into a visual representation of the 1890s, right? And there was Yes,
18.
1890s. Yes, before the 19th, before the 20th century, right?
Okay.
And there was a period then of expansion in the United States and feel-good energy and industrialization was helping people have better lives. And it's a generalized statement, so there
Yeah.
were people who were still living like shit, of course. But
Hmm.
so there's an expression called the gay 90s, and it's
Hmm.
not gay as in homosexual. It's gay as in like
It's
people are living a different quality of
the
life.
original termage of gay was happy.
Happy, right?
Yeah.
So what was going on was this was the first this was the start of a retro movement thing,
Hmm.
right? There were some other retro movements like Orientalism and Victorians certainly like medieval things,
Yeah.
right? But this was in the 1960s, this was a way to kind of create a friendly, fun atmosphere. And you would put up things like relics from just before World War One and costumes and clothes and instruments and decorate with that and put in the ferns because the ferns had a lively, energetic quality to them. And they wanted to make the spaces feel more inviting and more interesting and more curated, right? Then yeah, exactly. Doesn't that sound like a TGI Fridays?
Yeah.
So then those places are called fern bars.
Because they had
Ferns in them. Yes.
That's where they came from.
Yep.
Wow. Wow. We are learning a lot on Got Faded Japan. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, yes, I was I'm fascinated by interior design and spaces that are set up for human interaction.
Oh my God, dude. Fucking high five on that, dude. Yo, get this. The last time I was in America, my cousin loves to drink, right? He's a fader. Cousin Chris has been on the Got Faded Japan several times. Go back
Cousin
and
Chris.
check him out. Cousin Chris, what up? But recently, since the last time I was in America and stuff, and I was hanging out with him, he was so balls deep into tiki drinks.
Oh yeah, that's like a whole movement too. Sure.
He was so into tiki drink.
Sure.
So when I met him and stuff, the last time I went over to his house, and he's like, "Yo, man, I got this recipe for this tiki drink, and I bought this book." And so he's talking to me about tiki drinks. And for me, I never thought about tiki drinks. I never thought about tiki. I mean, I knew of it, of course, but anyway, I was like, tiki drinks, you're into that
Oh
stuff?
yeah.
He's like, yeah. And he started explaining tiki drinks to me and stuff, and tiki culture and tiki bars and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. And so we had tiki drinks and stuff at his place. We're hanging out and stuff, like in like his backyard. He had a fire and stuff, whatever. And it was absolutely fantastic. And I was like, wow, tiki's pretty cool. And then when I came back to Japan, there's only one tiki bar
Yeah.
in Japan.
Yo.
Like one official
Yo,
tiki bar.
Johnny.
It's
I
called
think we got to do something about that.
yeah, that's how I went into that. And it's called Trader Vic's, right?
Yeah.
But Trader Vic's is like in like a very luxurious hotel,
Yeah.
right? And Trader Vic's, if you get a drink, I haven't checked the menu and stuff in like a long time, but it's like one of those places where it's like $5,000 for a drink, 5,000 yen, 5,000
That's
yen
still
for
a
drink.
lot for a fucking for a drink.
Yeah. You can say fuck, I don't give a shit. But anyway, it's just like yeah, it's crazy expensive.
Damn.
So the thing is, but tiki bars, like if you go to like LA and like Hawaii and stuff like that, tiki bars are like beach bars and stuff. It's like
I'm from Miami, of course. Of course. Of course.
there we go. There we go.
I have, so as a designer, as a
Yes.
visual designer, aside from which we didn't get to, organizing and hosting events and being a community
Yeah,
organizer.
we're gonna
right?
get into that in a second. Yes.
So I have, growing up in South Florida, we had a lot of Miami modern, post-war modernism. So there's also Art Deco, and then there's that whole movement of time after Art Deco,
Mhm.
right? Like the 1960s, the 1970s, when tiki was also down south a thing. Talking about fern bars,
Yeah.
the opposite side of it is really the tiki bar thing,
Yeah,
right?
that's my point.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Loosely.
Yeah, no, there are certainly lots of tiki bars, the Waikiki Hotel. I mean, all kinds of things that lead back to that in South Florida, even though we're Caribbean and the south part of the Atlantic for the northern hemisphere. But yeah, man, It's there as a thing. And there's a lot of design and that influence of design. I have a soft spot for like
Yeah.
space age bachelor pad music and
Oh, yeah.
like Jetsons Googie design and like
Well, that's different than Tiki, but yeah, it's kind of got that
it,
weird kind of like 60s feel to it too.
yes,
Well,
yeah.
they're from like the 60s, I guess so. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, go-go boots and like, mini skirts and beehives and like all of that kind of shit. And I think we need some of that here in
Some
Tokyo.
Awesome Powers kind
Ooh,
of
I think
jazz.
we need, yeah, I think we need to work on an event, bro.
A tiki event, I think, would be absolutely
Dude, I think
fantastic.
we
Where you
could
take a
kill
bar
that.
and you kind of like change the interior of the bar to be a tiki bar,
Yeah.
just for a night. I know a couple of places that'd be perfect for that.
And the Japanese love Hawaii.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, that's a really good point. Everybody loves Hawaii here.
Everybody loves Hawaii.
Right, Faders, if you didn't know, if you're like overseas or something, right here in Japan, so many people are pissed off because the yen is so weak.
They can't go to Hawaii anymore.
Exactly.
They can't go.
They can't,
They've
it's
been
too
priced out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. People cannot go to Hawaii and they're like, fuck, dude, I'm so. They're going to fucking Thailand and no, not fucking Thailand, but they're going to Thailand
Dang,
and
this is
Guam.
too good of an idea.
Yeah.
This is a good. Wait, we might have to stop this conversation.
You know what's going to
Podcast
happen?
this.
Somebody's going to watch this, and then all of a sudden there's going to be a chain of TGI Friday, like Tiki bars
Friday,
or something.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, we're like wearing like Hawaiian shirts and shit. God damn it! Or make a movie about two guys, two Americans that come to Japan to start a tiki bar.
Oh man, dude, I
You
think
never
this
know what
is.
happens on a
Look,
podcast,
I'm
man.
even wearing kind of a tiki kind of that period.
I love that shirt,
Thank
man.
you.
That is pretty
Thank you.
sweet. What is that? Is it it's polyester?
Yes, it is.
That is
Yes, it
polyester.
is. Yeah, I know. I have a soft spot for like mid-century American style.
Mm,
I do. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Tiki bars,
I
yeah.
think we should. I
We
think
could
we should do
have
a tiki night.
zombies. Oh God, have you ever had it? You've had a zombie before, right? Oh my God.
Yeah, I have.
Those are some strong drinks. Oh my God. And rum, dude, rum is good.
Yeah,
Rum
rum
is
is good.
really good. Yeah, Bacardi, go fuck yourself, man. You got to get the real rum, dude.
No,
Oh
that's
my
not.
God.
Yeah, I mean, Bacardi is rum like Jack Daniels is whiskey.
Sure, well, I would say Jim Beam, not Jack Daniels. Gentleman Jack is okay.
Well, yeah, Jack is a bourbon supposedly.
No, no, no. Jack Daniels is a
Tennessee.
straight whiskey. Bourbon is Jim Beam.
Jim Beam is a bourbon.
Yeah, he's from Kentucky.
Oh,
Jack Daniels was from Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah, from I've been I know in Gatlinburg in that area. I went to school in Tennessee.
Yeah, so whiskey and tequila and some of these drinks are really weird because it's about like location.
Sure.
Like tequila is actually like it's a drink from a certain area of Mexico and stuff, and anything outside of that is a mezcal. And
The
same
state
thing.
of tequila. There's a state called Tequila in Mexico.
There's a state. Well, that's probably where it's from. I can call my dad or my brother.
Champagne works
They're in
that way
Mexico.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, are they?
Oh yeah, not half my family, but like my dad, my stepbrother, my stepsister, and all their kids are in Mexico.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So,
If I wasn't here, honestly, if I wasn't living in Japan,
hmm.
I think I would want to live in Mexico City if I wasn't living in Tokyo.
Mexico City?
Mexico City.
Like the actual city, Mexico City?
Yeah, Mexico City
Wow.
is amazing. I love Mexico City.
No,
It's
Mexico
one of-
City is awesome, but yeah, I want to live kind of like in the outskirts, like Puebla or something.
Yeah, the Puebla's all right. But
Puebla,
like,
yeah.
Puebla, yeah, but like Oaxaca's interesting too. But Mexico City, there's more museums and bookstores per capita in Mexico City than in any other major city in the world.
Didn't know that. I'm going to Mexico City tomorrow.
Yeah, Mexico City's a pretty sophisticated place. I think I
Mm.
feel when I was there, which wasn't that long ago, back when I was, when I went to the United States,
Hmm.
I went down to Mexico City with a friend, and she had work to do, and she wanted me to see the city, and
Hmm.
I was blown away. And I had studied pre-Columbian Mexican art history, so I had a context to it that I brought with me.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was amazing. If I was in any other city than Tokyo, Mexico City would be the place that I would be at.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? I guess I got to go there with like a friend.
Yeah, you got to
You
go.
know?
You need context.
Yeah, I guess that.
Context is important.
You're right. It's like Europe and stuff. I went to Europe. I've been to Europe like God, I don't know how many times. Like a lot of times and stuff for like business and stuff, for like the live painting or whatever.
Mm.
And every time I went there, I had like a manager or somebody that was taking care of me and stuff like that. And they showed me like the real Berlin, the
Mm.
real Greece,
Mm.
the real this and
Mm.
the real that stuff. And I absolutely loved it. But if I didn't go there with them, I
Mm.
might have not liked it as much.
No, you wouldn't have. There's a really interesting study about this. a sociological study.
Yeah.
People's impressions of the places that they go when they're on vacation or traveling
Yeah.
are more influenced by the connections that they make when they are there than the specific physicalities of the experience itself. So you could go
Wow.
to a third world country
Hmm.
and it could be rough as could be, right?
Yeah.
But if you go and you meet interesting people and you make good connections,
Hmm.
your impression
Hmm.
and the way that that affects you will impress your memory of that place
Mm.
and leave a really profound impression for you that maybe you have the same experience in a different country but you don't make those connections, and suddenly all the things like the dirty water and the noisy streets and the all of those things hit you in a different way and leaves you with a bad impression of the country.
Yeah, you're absolutely
It
right.
makes all the difference in the world.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, 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 yeah. I never thought, I mean, maybe I did, but I never really thought deeply about that. But yeah, yeah, yeah. When I go to Thailand, well, I haven't been to Thailand in years, but when my wife and I would go to Thailand, we've got friends,
Yeah,
really great close friends that
yeah,
live in Thailand and stuff. So we meet up with them and stuff, and then they show us to all these places and take us all these places. And of course, we're tourists and we go there and stuff, but still, they're showing us all this like wonderful, like really cool bars and places. And yeah, we have like the best of times. We go to the best of restaurants and stuff. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
yeah.
But if we went to Thailand, we're like we didn't know anything and stuff.
Right.
We take like a tuk-tuk to like I don't know, like the night market and get like our pockets picked or some shit.
Totally, totally,
Get
totally,
bitten by a stray dog or some shit. I don't
totally.
know. I mean,
Yeah,
fucking Thailand can get rough.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
love Thailand. Thailand's in my heart. I love you, Thailand. Mwah.
Yeah, see, that's exactly it. We
You're
have
right.
these places that we make connections with. And I mean, I think that's probably why you and I both have a connection here in Tokyo
Mm.
because of all of the people and the network and that how that kind of branches out for us and
Hmm.
creates a real, a life and all of that. Yeah.
Speaking
Yes, I
of
know.
branching out.
That's why I was trying to segue. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
segueing.
Say go right
I
now.
lost the last few words on the segue, but
Yeah.
I was working it in there.
Branching out. So now, finally, I want to hear about your events and the magic that you're making here in
Sure.
Tokyo.
So last time I was here, I was talking about I had pretty much been a couple months into starting Tokyo Game Bridge,
Yes.
and Tokyo Game Bridge is going strong.
Okay, okay. Very quickly, talk about Tokyo Game Bridge for anybody that's watching this episode for the first time.
Okay. Tokyo Game Bridge is an organization that I chair and co-founded, and it is all about bringing innovation and connection to the game industry and people in the game industry to create the most creative and amazing game experiences possible. And so we create events and we help foster community, and there are foreigners and there are domestic folks, and we want to connect people. And often, for example, in my industry, in the game industry, there's a lot of disconnect, whether you're in the business side or the marketing side or the publishing side or the development side. And the goal is that for here in Tokyo, we're helping to bridge that and to connect the different cultures and connect the different components of the industry together to create a more cohesive and innovative uh, game industry here in Tokyo. So that's what Tokyo Game Bridge is about. And it doesn't just include Tokyo. There are people who are interested in Japan. There are people who love games around the world, and we want them to see and to feel excited about the possibilities and the imagination and the creativity that is part of what we do and what we can give to them and the joy that games bring to people's lives.
Boom. There you
There's the
go.
there's a mission
That's
statement.
it. That's the elevator pitch.
Yeah, that was there's the elevator pitch. So,
Mhm.
um,
Okay, moving forward.
yeah.
Now.
All right.
Okay, okay. So tell me what's going on.
Yeah. So one thing that we our main initiative is making sure that we're doing events on a regular basis, and every month we have different events. And those events focus on a couple of different areas.
Mhm.
One of them is exhibits and things about artifacts for game making. So it could be the art of games, it could be the sound and music of games, it could be looking at key art and promotional materials for games and putting that out in a space where people can look at it and come and interact, like a gallery or even at a bar where we've got people DJing music from games, which is actually what we did last month. Yeah, so that's one leg of what we're doing. The other leg of what we're doing is every second month is that we are having community link ups. And what the community link ups do is either our first one, we brought in all different game association groups together in Tokyo to talk about what their different corners of the market are and what they're doing and how they're helping. And so that we could start connecting our members and their members and creating like what our name is, Tokyo Game Bridge, a bridge between different organizations and factions within the industry here in Tokyo. The next leg is that we do craft related stuff. So we do game jams and we do other things that involve creativity. So on those months, we'll do something like our last one was called Game Craft Paper Jam. And we had a paper prototyping game jam for 2 hours. And the people who came made teams and the teams had to come up with a game design, and in that 2 hours, put that game design together in paper, only paper, no digital, just work it out, work out the ideas, and put it together as a pitch.
Wow.
And then they had to pitch the idea, and then everybody got a vote, and they voted on who was the best game, and the best game won the event, and the best game did win the event in this case. And there were some pretty good ideas. Everybody had a really good idea. Everything was interesting. It was a lot of fun, and we'll definitely be doing that again. And then the third part is that we do demos and teardowns. So people who are working on their games come and bring their games and show their games off and talk about it and let their colleagues come and test things out and take a look and take positive feedback. Our intention is not to be cruel to one another.
Yeah,
it's to to show off what we're doing and to field good and informative feedback. So that's the fourth leg of what we're doing. So we have a kind of construction of our monthly events for our core members that way. And then now, here's the other part, Johnny.
Oh my God, Matthew, dude. Dude, I can't even imagine the amount of stress you're dealing with.
So wait. So then,
wow.
To appeal to because there's so many inbound travelers to Tokyo right now, and there's
Yes.
people that who would love the experience of getting to play games here in Tokyo with like real game creators. We are starting to have a middle month event that is really much more focused around a kind of a party vibe.
Cool.
And having a DJ there and having music there and having people come and demo a couple of games and allowing local folks and travelers, international people all come together in a place where there could be a mixed culture environment and like have fun and bring that to people instead of just like you go to the Steam store, you go to the Google Play or the Google Store, or the Apple, the Apple App Store, whichever app store. Forget all the app stores. I'm not going to talk too much trash, but we want to have it be more of a direct person-to-person connection because it's the same thing. When we experience art, when we experience things with other people, it impacts us in a way that is different than if you're just sitting at home or you're just sitting on your device and doing it. And so, and for the same thing in reverse, for the creators, getting to see people that are not just other game developers doing stuff and trying their games out and what their impression of those experiences are is really valuable to them. And so that part has been a big key. And so we want to expand on that experience for folks. And also like that's a place like you have a Patreon. We need donors and supporters. I've been doing all of this out of sweat equity and out of my own, like I got no operating budget and I've been doing events every month.
Wow.
And I'm doing it all like
you need a Patreon.
Yeah. Like and with that, putting that all together. Okay. So
wow, that's a lot to lay on me, dude. Holy smokes.
I know.
There are like a million questions that I have. Oh my gosh. First off, before I even ask a question, I gotta say, man, hats off to you to
Thank
doing
you.
something so positive to the community here in Japan and stuff, for like people who are interested in games, who love games, who play games. Which let's be honest, faders, is all of us.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have a game on their iPhone, right?
Right. Right. Exactly.
So and
Exactly.
who doesn't like to play? I mean, all right. I know a lot of you don't play board games, but I love board
Yeah.
games.
Board games are
Board
included.
games are awesome. Yeah,
Board
like.
games, card games, tabletop games,
But,
role-playing games.
but the thing is though, when you were talking about like making a game
Mm,
and then seeing who had the best game,
mm,
that right there was like a board game.
mm.
You know, that was like basically a group board game, or like people are working together, they're communicating,
Totally.
they're sharing ideas and stuff. They're trying to do the best game that they can, and then boom, they battle like another team and stuff. That right there is like a huge group. Like that's almost like what's that thing, LARPing or something, but it's like real life LARPing. But it's not LARPing where you're dressed up like Princess Leia or some shit. It's like LARPing where you're basically using your. Is it like LARPing? I don't know. I'm kind of drunk right now.
That's okay. No,
This is
dude.
like 15%, man. Don't worry, it's like coming out of my mouth. I just don't see them.
But it makes sense because in a way it is like LARPing. When we did that event,
Mhm.
each of those teams kind of became like a little game studio, right? In that time.
Like that. That's what I meant.
Yeah, I got you. I follow
Yeah.
where you're going with it.
Yeah. But I thought that is absolutely fantastic and absolutely fascinating. I think like what you're doing to like the community here in Japan is absolutely very positive, very cool, and I think that it can lead to like a million different things. And I know it's really expensive because it's really hard to start something off from like the ground up and
Mm,
stuff. Because the thing is, the first thing you got to spend is time, and time is money, right? If you're not,
sure.
I mean, basically, if you're focusing on this, you're not, working or something, So yeah, you're spending a lot of time doing that, but also it's just like, I mean, you got to get paid,
Mm,
So getting paid is.
a challenge, right?
Yeah, how are you getting paid? Are you charging people, or you have sponsors or
Well, yeah, I love your
tips?
questions. These are good questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have different tiers for how we look at fundraising.
And when I say paid, I mean not that you make money, but it's like you make money that for the
I got
company that
yeah.
can
Well,
like build your company more and more and more. So money that you can take to invest.
so
That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I
no,
just
that's
want to make
wait,
myself
yo,
clear.
getting paid. I gotta get paid.
Yeah,
I
but
gotta
also
pay
money
bills
for
to
the
pay.
company. Oh, yeah, but money for the company so it can expand,
Absolutely.
to reinvest.
And we are not a company, right? We're a not-for-profit organization.
There you
Right?
go. Yeah,
So, but not-for-profit organizations still require revenue to operate,
of
right?
course. Yeah.
So we look at it like, man, it's unfortunate 'cause of what's going on in the United States, how so many things are losing their investments and like grant writing. But there's still other grants that exist, and we're here in Japan, so fortunately
Mm.
things are different. But grants are one place. Another place is business to business sponsorships. Another place is donors, and then we offer consulting, like consultation. We're a consultancy in that we help games get to market. We help publishers outside of Japan who are interested in getting games developed here in Japan to their audiences and making those connections happen.
Hmm.
And in reverse, helping Japanese developers who want to get to the United States, helping Western companies that want to get stuff into Japan. So having that conversation, and we're kind of uniquely positioned in understanding the difference between, things are branded differently here
Yeah.
than they are in the West. The way that it needs to be made, the appeal that needs to be made needs to be nuanced for different sides of the Pacific Ocean. So, we want to help folks on both sides to
Mm.
be able to connect. And because there's so much interest, right? Like there's folks in Japan that are interested in games from the West,
Yeah.
and there's folks in the West that are interested in games from here coming
Oh,
over there.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Yeah.
we want to, that's where we're uniquely positioned.
Mm.
And that's one way that, consultancy is one part of our operation for making revenue for the not-for-profit. Yeah, that's another
Yeah.
part.
It's a very smart move.
So I'm doing a bunch of different things, bro. And right now yo, since I was here last, I don't think I mentioned this. I don't think I even talked to you about this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I've been doing a seminar, and it's for a professional services organization and recruiting operation here. And they contacted me and they wanted me to put something together to talk about game development.
Wow.
So, what that is specifically is a compare and contrast series on visual development, uh, and the differences between how things are in the United States in the West and how things are here in the East. And it's
Regarding
fascinating.
games
Yeah, regarding
or
games.
culture or
Yeah. Oh, well, that all of that feeds together, right?
hmm
Because like think about the difference between The Last of Us and Final Fantasy, right?
hmm
Or think about like Pokemon and Crash Bandicoot, right? Like these types of games, they're really informed a lot by culture, and the choices are really cultural. However, you know, that interest exists in having fun. So for our audience, what I'm doing is helping
hmm
break that down and take an analysis.
Yes.
Yeah. And that includes like looking at how the worlds are built, how the characters are designed,
hmm
how the
hmm
user interfaces are
hmm
designed, and importantly, that a lot of people don't even think about who are game developers
Mm.
is the marketing and the branding
hmm
and the art that goes around that
hmm
for getting the message out
hmm
because how you market something in Japan is different than how you market something in the United
Oh,
States,
that's for sure.
right?
That's for
So,
sure.
so
Marketing completely different.
yeah, so these are parts of what I'm working on in regard to making this operation happen and helping connect Japan to the West and the West to Japan.
And you're giving seminars about that.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
before I even came over here and started drinking Nihonshu this afternoon, I was sitting hammering out on PowerPoint,
Uh,
putting on my yeah, oh yeah, it's
oh,
all
that's
right. I
not
don't mind.
fun.
I don't mind, man, because I feel like the responses that it has gotten, I was published a couple times just for doing this series. So, um, I don't mind. I'm glad that people dig it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So wait, all right. That is absolutely awesome. I'm glad that you are making money and you're actually building your company.
I'm working
And
on making money. That's
okay, man,
because this is
working on making
making money,
money.
right? But
Support the show, Patreon.
yes, support the show.
Oh my gosh. What?
You are one of the people for real. I say this with all seriousness as I open up another bottle of Nihonshu.
Oh my God. I'm so glad it's TGIF. Thank
TGIF.
TJ. Speaking of TJ, thank God it's
That's
Friday.
right. I know.
Thank,
Yo, we
it's
made a whole circle. There is what you were talking about, bro. You
ah,
said like something that is gonna get said here is gonna pop up somewhere else, but we've already made a full circle right here
thank you for the second
for
time.
the second time.
Oh my
Now,
gosh. Okay, well, hold on, making sure there's like
okay.
we probably should clean these glasses out. Next time. Okay, so what do we have
Next
next?
we have Yuki Nobosha.
Yuki Nobosho.
Yeah, we got some Yuki Nobosha right here, right? And Yuki Nobosha is another Akita Ken. All right, so we're back up north in Japan here, and we're looking at 16%.
Oh my God.
I know, hanging tight, bro. We rolling, hanging tight, hanging tight. This is a real. This is only rice from Japan. Yeah.
Wait, but all of these only have rice from Japan, though.
This one specifically says, no, I can't say that they don't.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh my
I can
God.
only say that in reading this
Okay.
label, that the rice that is coming here is only Japanese rice.
Okay, so
They're making a point of having that on here.
so all the rice that's made, this Nihonshu was made from rice that's only from Japan.
Yeah, and this is a Junmai Ginjo.
Oh boy.
So this is all about purity. All right, let's give this a go. I know, I'm getting a little faded.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, ain't that the name of your show?
Got fitted Japan. Well, see, the thing is like, all right, when I started this show with my original co-host Sean, got fitted Japan, we came up with the theme Two Dudes, Booze, Japan in the News. So the whole thing was basically we'd sit together and we'd drink beers and we talk about our weeks, right? And back then we were like super young, we weren't married. And yeah, like I mean, I was a DJ, he was doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So we'd always have like all these crazy things that we talk about, like, how was your last weekend? Dude, last weekend I went to this club and this guy set himself on fire, and then this girl fucking punched this guy and like a bottle through him. That we had all these crazy stories, right? And then we'd talk about the news, because like then we'd read the weekly news. Two dudes, booze, Japan news, and we get completely fucked up, and we just like do the show like that. But over time and stuff, things have kind of changed, whatever. And now I don't drink so much, so I never drink this. Well, I never, can never say never, but I usually don't drink this much on Got Faded Japan.
But think about Johnny,
Huh.
780. 780.
Yeah, yeah.
Kampai. Otsukare.
Kampai.
Otsukare some of this.
Kampai.
Otsukare some of this. Thank you for your hard work.
Oh my God, this smells amazing.
Yeah, this is a whole different yeah, get
Oh
your
my God. Wait, dude,
this one's a whole different yeah, I know. We
this smells like flowers.
I know. It's got a nice little
This smells like
delicate.
flowers. I feel like I'm putting my nose into a bouquet of flowers. Oh my God, this is
Yeah, Yuki no
absolutely.
Bosha.
I haven't even drank this. What's the name of this again?
Yuki no Bosha.
Yuki no Bosha.
Yeah, Yuki no Bosha.
So what does that mean? That means like
What's
wait,
the Bosha? I know the Yuki
Yuki
no.
means like snow.
Yes.
Snow from
Bosha.
snow from Bosha.
Yeah, what's Bosha?
I'm gonna say flowers. It's like an old school term for flowers, you know?
Yeah, I don't want to look at my. I could translate it if I look at a device, but let's enjoy.
I fucking love that. Cheers on that. Fucking let's just not know. Let's fucking
Let's not know.
let's put our phones away. We don't need to fucking look at our phones to get an answer to everything. If we don't know it, we don't know.
We don't know.
That is
We'll
awesome.
look at it later. That's a good smell. I haven't even had a taste yet. Oh wow.
This is a really good Nihonshu.
Wow.
When it comes to food, I'm gonna say
What do you
this is
think? What do
just
you
like
think? What do you got?
okay. I'm gonna say this is just like the Desai. It's such a beautiful like
Yeah.
Nihonshu where I don't
Yeah.
really want to. You don't need to eat anything with it. You don't want to eat. This is something. This is like a drinking Nihonshu, right?
Wow.
Wow. This is up there with the Desai. I mean, this might be better than the Desai. I wonder
Eh?
what the price is.
Eh?
Wait,
It
this,
wasn't that expensive, bro. We no, it wasn't particularly pricey. We're not my selection was really based on understanding, not on price.
this is a really nice. All right. Okay. Imagine somebody can't taste anything.
Mm.
Describe the taste of this Nihonshu.
Wow. Yeah, this one's surprising.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, dude. Wow. I think that's it. In one word, wow. Oh my gosh. I'm getting a lot of, it's like not like grandma flower
No,
kind of
it's flower
spray,
for sure.
but it's like a pleasant flower. It's like walking through a flower garden in summer, you know?
Yeah, it's got a springy
Yeah.
flower taste to
The
it.
spring taste. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this shit is so cool. Dude, all right, one more time.
Yuki no Bosha.
Yeah, but for all you feeders that are watching this on YouTube, here, check it out. If
Yeah,
you
that-
if you here, take a like a screenshot of this, all right? This is what you want. This is incredible.
Yeah, it's
Holy shit, this is like really impressive.
I know. And dude, I think we paid less than, well, for sure we paid less than 2,000 yen for this bottle.
No, this bottle, I think,
It was like 1,500 yen.
yeah,
I know, that's pretty remarkable to have something that tastes that refined for like 1,500 yen.
dude, Decide was double that price.
Yeah. No, it wasn't quite double, but nonetheless, to your point, to
Mm.
your point. Yeah, I mean, this is really a good tasting Nihonshu right here.
I think this might be my new favorite Nihonshu.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah, you're right, dude. Fucking look at this. On the label, there's like snowflakes.
Yuki. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So there's snowflakes and stuff like that. It is Yuki. Wow. Oh gosh, we should probably chill it. Oh well, next
We
time.
did a little bit, but we
Yeah.
yeah.
That's all right. Well, this room is kind of chill. It's hot outside. In Tokyo right now, it's like what, 85 degrees?
It's hotter than that, I think. The humidity makes it brutal.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm touching my window. Yeah, dude.
hotter
It's like
than
maybe
85.
90.
Yeah,
It's like I think it's 32 degrees
yeah, something like that.
centigrade.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my gosh. But I mean, Matthew, man,
Yeah.
what you're doing here in Japan, I mean, the community that you're building, what you're doing for everybody here and for like all the people that are coming to Japan and just it's just so beautiful, man. Like I have so much respect for people that do positive things
Thank you.
and that build like beautiful communities where people can like make connections and develop friendships and learn stuff and just have a wonderful time and stuff. I think that's so very important, especially like right now in the world. There's like so many dark times and
Dude.
so many dark things happening. for people like you that are doing something so positive, I think that's just so incredibly cool, man.
That's a part of it is
It's awesome. It
like
really is.
I really think that we're looking at a world that is increasingly hostile, and that doesn't mean that our community has to be hostile. And if in our communities we make a place for acceptance and safety and creativity and engagement, then we are making our world be a reflection of the place that we want it to be. And then here's the other part that
Yeah.
I'll say. You said that, but and I appreciate what you're saying, and
Mhm.
I appreciate the compliment. And I have to say, like, I remember it was like what 2 or 3 weeks, maybe last month, I don't know, sometime recently, and I was trying to organize something, and I remember I was like, man, I was deep in the middle of a lot of thoughts, and I was like,
Mm.
I was like, yo, you know who might have an answer or at least have some suggestion as to what I should do? Let me text Johnny and see what's up.
Uh-oh.
For
Don't do
real.
that. Yeah.
No, but for
Yeah.
real, like in
Yeah.
that moment, I was like, I thought about you really have done a lot too, and I really appreciate like your effort in putting like this podcast, in putting like Tokyo Art Tank together,
Hmm.
and like that you've created kind of a well of wisdom as well, you know?
Well, I wouldn't call it a well of wisdom.
You might not think that, but I think you have done that. And like I think
Well, thank you. I
and
appreciate
it
that, bud.
benefits a lot of people. And like for the
Yeah.
same reason, like that's I think one of the reasons why we get along is that
Mm.
like there's a genuine desire to create the community that we believe is good,
Hmm.
by being inclusive and having creativity being core to that value, a
Yeah.
core value of that. And
Mm.
so, yeah, man. Yeah. So the other thing that I want to hype up, I have one other thing I want to hype up.
Hype up. Oh gosh. Jeez Louise. Okay.
Okay, so coming up in next month in Kyoto, not here in
Oh, for
Tokyo.
you, I thought you were gonna hype up me. I was like, oh my
Oh,
gosh. Oh no, for you, yeah, let's hype you up. Yeah, yeah. I thought you'd be like,
oh.
and Johnny, I really like your hat or something. I didn't know what you were gonna say.
Well, you got an
No.
art tank coming up in November.
Oh
I'll hype
God,
that up.
November, no, geez,
Oh,
I'm so stressed already. But no, I would love to hear Kyoto. I wait. No, we can say
all right.
fucking now.
It's already too
Yeah,
late. Yeah,
we already
the
dropped the
cherry's
F
been
bomb.
popped. Yes,
Pandora's box is
it's
open.
open. You know the thing about Pandora's box. You know the whole story of Pandora's box.
Yeah, it's in that painting right there.
Oh shit!
Yeah, look at that painting right
You do
there.
have a Pandora's box painting.
Yeah.
But you know what was the last thing that slipped out of the box after all the monsters and horror and frightening things of the world
Let
kind
me
of
look at the
come out?
painting. Hold on.
No, there's a
Institution.
yeah. That might have been in the box.
Well, that's in that
That's a
painting.
different box. But the last thing that slips out of the box that Pandora hears is a whisper. And you know what the whisper says?
No, tell me, dude.
The word hope. So once you've let out all the horrors of the world, once all of these terrible things have happened,
Uh,
all that matters is that we still have hope at the end.
but if Hope comes out of the box, you can't put it back in.
Doesn't matter, man. All the rest of the horrors are already out of the box too.
All right, dude. After all this Nihonchi that we've been drinking, I can't think deeply like that.
All
Right
right,
now,
all right.
oh
I
wait.
got a little philosophical there with you.
Yeah, dude, for real, dude. No, I'm like writing things down. I'm like, all right,
Take notes?
yeah,
You
I'm not
taking
even taking
notes?
notes, man. I'm trying to like make like a spider web or something, like
Spider
oh my God.
webs. Yeah,
It's
spider
like,
web
you got
graphs.
hope and
I know. I feel you.
piece everything together.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All
So,
right. Faders, we highly recommend. Actually, maybe we should do that.
what's
Maybe
that?
I should probably take a photo of every
Mm,
bottle of Nihonshu and then
yes.
say, before you watch this episode, you should drink this with us.
Nah, that's not a bad idea.
Now that's gonna be in a movie. Oh, all my ideas are gone today. All right, Kyoto.
Kyoto. All right. So, okay.
We,
Next month in
we were
Kyoto.
supposed to talk about this at the beginning of the podcast.
Well, now it's
But
become
now
deep
tell
into
us.
the.
All
All
right, it's
right.
good.
In Kyoto, so next month in Kyoto, in July in Kyoto, is a big gaming event called Bit Summit. And Bit Summit's one
Nice.
of the great gaming events in the world. And the reason I say that, not just because it's here in Japan, is because it's really focused on the game makers more than it's focused on the intellectual property, right?
Hmm.
Because, there's all these great intellectual properties. Everybody
Yeah,
loves,
Mario.
yeah, Star Wars and everything, right? Okay. But there's got to be creators that make that shit interesting.
Yep.
So the Kyoto Bit Summit event is really more about that part.
Cool.
Yeah. And what we're doing next month down in Kyoto is we are taking some of the creators that have really interesting and unique things, and we are doing on the night of the 17th, the afternoon into the evening,
Cool.
a presentation of 20 interesting games. And we want people to come and check it out and to get the opportunity to experience like the vision of creators and to give them a moment to show off what they're doing and to connect with people that are interested in games. And so we're doing a special event for that down in Kyoto. And it's some of the spill off of things that are happening from the Bit Summit. We're not officially tied to the Bit Summit event. But I'm very grateful for the people from that organization for helping us think about putting this into place. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Mm.
And then afterwards, people are going to go down to Kamogawa, down in Kyoto, and have a good old time because people late in the evenings hang out down by the river and do what we're doing right now, which is having a bit to drink.
Absolutely. So basically, this is an event not to support the games, but to support the people who make the games and come up with the games and stuff like that. So it's kind of like
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to look at it.
I don't know. I think that's what you're saying though, right?
That is, I mean,
It's
what our hope is this.
mm,
We want to give interesting creators and interesting like game concepts the opportunity to be seen.
mm,
And actually, the idea for Tokyo Game Bridge came from 1 year ago.
hmm
I went down to Kyoto to Bit Summit, and it was my first time going to that event, even though I've been involved in games for a long time.
hmm
And I had just come back from the United States, and I'd gone through a lot of heavy shit in the US, dealing with family related problems and my mom having dementia and all of that, right? Okay, so
Sorry.
that's all right. That's life. And Bit Summit reminded me of the value of community and the value of creators working together and the value of not being competitive. Like, there's no, like, dude, you're an artist and I'm an artist, right?
Yeah.
Like, I make paintings too, you make paintings.
hmm
But, like, what the paintings you make and the paintings I make, they're not competing with one another, right? And,
Yeah.
like, only if our egos are messed up are we going to start having a problem, right? Because I want to see you
Yeah.
succeed. And if
Yeah.
you succeed, it helps me. And if I succeed,
Mm.
I help you because,
Mm.
like, I want to see other people be successful.
I have no competition with anybody.
And you shouldn't, right?
Wait, no, I
No,
take that back.
there's
I have competition only with myself.
well, there is
Just me.
there's a value to competition, which is like we want to improve,
But
right?
that's when you're younger. That's when you start off.
Yeah, but dude, I'm my 50th birthday is coming up, bro.
Yeah, we're the same age. But the thing is like I don't have any competition with any like when I was younger, when I was like doing art and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I was like, fuck these guys, dude, I'm gonna fuck you up, you know? Now I'm like, maybe I don't know, but I'm at a level where it's just like I don't have any competition with anybody. I'm like, oh, you're doing that? I mean, I get pissed off when people copy my shit, you know? But I'm
Sure.
like, I'm like, fuck, dude, that's exactly what I did, you fucker. But I don't have competition with them, you know? But it's just like I think when I do something, I like the next thing I do, I'm competing against the previous thing. With like events, with my artwork, with my sketches, my drawings, with my thoughts, my concepts. I'm only like it's like a mental battle. Maybe I've got some really fucked up mental problems, I guess. Maybe that's it. But
I mean, I think it's the opposite.
I have
think
no
I think you've
competition
gotta-
with anybody, really.
I think it's
When it
because
comes
you
to
have
like painting and arting and arting.
arting.
When I'm doing my arting, no.
Sometimes
When I'm
arting.
creating art and stuff, yeah, I have no competition with anybody.
Cheers.
Cheers on that.
I think
Wait,
you have
do you have competition when you're making games? Or you're like, oh, I gotta make the best game because Saito-san or something. Is it like that in the gaming community? Maybe it's different.
I think there's a part that we all have a relationship to our own desire to be successful and
Yeah.
our own ego. And
Yeah.
there's nothing necessarily wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
And it's okay to want to be the best at what we can be.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I think that's healthy.
Yeah.
I think it's only when it becomes you want to see somebody fail, you get joy at somebody else's like uh failures or somebody else wiping out.
It's
Like,
like being a sociopath.
well, it is kind of sociopathic. Yeah. I mean, but I think we all have,
Oh, Saito-san,
I know,
get
yeah,
me
yeah.
down.
Dude, but some people have that desire to see the people. We all have a
Maybe
Schadenfreude,
I'd be more
right?
successful if I was like that.
I don't think
I
that's
gotta change the way I'm thinking. No, remember the movie Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone?
oh
That
my
the whole
God.
like
Yeah, the
the
arm
arm wrestling.
wrestling. Yes. Yes.
All right, here we go. My hat's going zoop this way. That was his switch, like, hey, Adrian, when my hat's like this, and then I switch it like this.
No,
No. Oh my God. Oh my God. The most fitted episode ever. But I think like what you're doing right now is absolutely fantastic. And I think that your events that are happening in Kyoto is absolutely spectacular. What would you like to tell the faders right now to do to help them support you?
go to Tokyo Game Bridge's website. So that is tokyogamebridge.org. If you're interested in games, like hit the Discord link and become part of our Discord community.
Yep.
We welcome people. You don't have to be in Tokyo to be a member of our Discord community.
Boom.
We enjoy having different viewpoints and different visions all come together. The inclusiveness, and this is not, there's so much buzzword shit going on right now, but in the fuller sense, like depoliticize that. Like having different viewpoints, having different opinions, have a space to be part of the conversation is valuable if you're there to have a good conversation.
Absolutely. That is absolutely fantastic. And then how can people find out more about your event that's happening in Kyoto? Maybe they can find out to like go to it or actually help you with that.
Yeah, sure. So, definitely go to our website. Our website is the place for that to happen, tokyogamebridge.org.
Mm,
Yeah.
awesome. And then, oh, well, I guess I'm pretty much, I think they answered. All right. So,
What do you got?
all right, my question is like, if when people want to go to, like, let's say
If they're
somebody's
gonna
coming to Japan, they're going to be in Kyoto, they're going to see some shrines. How can they see and experience your event?
All right. So,
Is it the same website?
yeah. So one thing that is important is, yeah, we have a link tree for Tokyo Game Bridge, but you know what? Really, I think it's best and cleanest to just say our website is the access point.
Boom. Go to the website.
Go to-
Everything's going to be down in the show notes.
Yes. Yeah.
That is-
Okay. There you go. Yeah. Put it in the show.
Everything's down in the show notes. You send them to me. I'm going to put it down there. That is awesome. Absolutely fantastic. And dude, Matthew, once again, I'm so happy that you're doing something so important for like the community here in Japan and stuff. For like people that love games, people that fucking get together and love to enjoy games with their friends and stuff like that. It was like when I was in college, some of the best moments of my life in college was playing Mario Kart, the
Yeah.
first Mario Kart,
Yeah.
or if like was it GoldenEye?
Yeah,
Was it the GoldenEye and stuff.
Of course,
with
of
my
course.
roommates.
Oh,
We're-
GoldenEye was fantastic.
We were
for that.
like drinking 40s, playing GoldenEye
Yeah.
all night long.
Yeah.
And yes, Johnny drank 40s back in the day,
I drank 40s. What are you talking about? High Life was my 40 of choice.
dude.
What's your 40? What was your 40?
I think it was Mickey.
We're drink. Oh, yo.
Yeah.
I drank. That was I went.
I had a
I was
fucking
dumb.
Mickey's
from
tattoo
drink-
on his
oh my
arm.
Gosh, you remember if you open a Mickey's on the
On
flip
the
side?
aisle cap, right?
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
underside, on the underside of the bottle cap, they always had a little something, a little message for you before you got too shit.
Yeah, it
faced
was
on
like it's called like Bazooka Joe or something.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Totally.
Yeah, Bazooka
totally.
Joe for alcoholics.
It's Bazooka Joe for alcoholics.
Yeah, for real.
We're doing, you know what? We got to do the Kontiki,
Tiki bar.
Johnny,
Yeah.
dude, let's do a tiki bar thing.
You know, I think
Dude,
nobody's doing tiki bars. There's only one place in Japan that's doing a tiki bar.
I think
and
it's a great
Fit or
idea.
Fix. But what if you have like, all right, you rent out. Okay.
let's think about this. I think it could be a little like kind of
Let it-
trashy.
I don't want to say it right now because I think they'll pick it.
all right.
But the thing is, it's just like, nobody's doing something and it's popular. Like right now, like tiki bars are dude, in Detroit, there's fucking tiki bars. Right?
I'm sure.
There's, like,
I'm
tiki
sure
bars,
there's some place that's hitting.
right?
Right.
And that's where my cousin is and stuff. So I'm just like, oh my God, there's tiki bars there and stuff. And they're fun. They're fun, they're
Dude,
enjoyable. It's not something you could do every day of the week, but if you do like a
decorations,
pop-up,
music, yes. Like all you need is decorations and music and the right cocktail menu list.
yo, is there such thing as a tiki bar DJ? Can you DJ tiki bar music where
Yes,
somebody's
you
like,
can. Yes, you can. That can be done. Yes. Yes.
oh my God,
Yes, Raymond Scott, all of it.
Mix Master Mike can do that.
Esquivel. Yes, there's Space Age Bachelor Pad music, which I mentioned.
Oh my
All of
God.
that.
We're
You
gonna
can
get
totally
Hubert.
do it.
Hubert would love to do that. So,
I'm sure I have a few.
you know, I don't.
DJs.
You know, DJ
You're,
Craze.
you're a DJ. You could. You want to DJ that?
I do. I haven't been a real serious DJ in well over 10 years. 10 years ago, I was a serious DJ. Every single day, fucking, I can swear, 4 or 5 hours and stuff, just playing records, playing records, playing records, playing records, playing records. Now, maybe once a month, I'll put a record on. I'm like, oh, I love this song. This is my great. Oh, I drink a little bit of like rum, enjoy this song. All right, cool. I'm gonna take that song off, put the record back.
All
All
right.
right, time to go to bed.
We're gonna work this out. I think we got a like Tokyo Game Bridge and Art Tank, Spilt Inc. Let's for real. I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea too. But I think you're getting towards like a wrap up. But before the wrap up and stuff,
I'm not
we're
right.
not. All right,
I'm
cool.
just saying. I'm hitting on this idea. I'm putting
No, I
a pin
think
in
it's
it.
a brilliant idea. I'm fucking deep in, man. But okay, before we do wrap this up,
Sure. You the host. I follow what you say.
no, you're the guest. I follow you. But the thing is, like before the podcast, you said you wanted to pick my brain. Is there anything you want to ask me about like events or anything like that?
Bro.
Because you said you wanted to ask me some questions on the
Dude, you're
podcast.
so good at doing it. Like, how, like,
But so I like ask me some questions
I
if
know.
you have them, and if you don't and stuff, it's all good. We
I've
got
also been drinking 3 different Nihon shoes
oh,
over
Jesus
the
Christ,
over the
like,
course
no,
of the
man.
last.
My mind's like all over the place. Yeah, it's wild. But can I get more Desai?
Of course you can.
I want to get another pull that Desai.
You want to compare? Is it a comparative and contrastive?
Nah, you know,
You decide still your favorite?
I think that one's my favorite, but I just kind of want to get a little Desai.
Yeah, have it. Tell me when.
When?
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I just want to sip.
All right. Compare it after you had that Yuki no Bosha.
God, that Yuki is really good.
I know. I think I want to sip of the Yuki no Bosha.
See, that's the craziest thing right now. I think all these tourists that come to Japan just buy the whiskey.
Mm.
They buy all the whiskey. They buy up the whiskey that they buy like fucking, one guy will come in and buy like 15 bottles of whiskey, right? And the thing is like they never touch the shochu.
No,
They
they
never
definitely don't. They
and
definitely
the
don't.
shochu, I think the shochu is 10 times better
Yo, you can
than the
get.
whiskey.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I do love whiskey as a whiskey drinker,
Oh no, I love whiskey too, but I'm just
But-
saying.
but
Yeah.
shochu has a special lane, and I think
Yeah.
that people that come here don't understand the significance or the value or the kind of like
Well, they don't understand anything.
ability. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't know what that is.
But-
That's a thing.
But the thing is even of Nihonshu, I think they like when like international people come here and stuff as tourists or visitors or whatnot, they come here and they're just like, all right, I'm gonna get Japanese whiskey, or I'm gonna get some like Dasai,
Mm.
and they get that stuff. But I think they overlook the whole situation where there's like so many other beautiful kinds of alcohol
I agree with you.
here. For example, the stuff that we've had tonight and stuff has been absolutely just beautifully brilliant. And the shochu also, oh God, the shochu is just so incredible. So it's just like I think that like if you're watching this, or if you're listening to this, and if you're gonna come to Japan, or if you know someone who's coming to Japan,
Come on.
recommend them to experiment and get some Nihonshu sake and some shochu. But the thing is like, all right, so you help me out here.
Tell
So,
me.
like when somebody comes to Japan, they shouldn't go to Don Quixote to buy their sake or
No.
Nihonshu, right? Where should they go?
When you see, just if you have Google Maps,
Mm-hmm.
Google Sakeya, right? Sakeya. That means the sake is the alcohol, and ya means store. So when you say sakeya, what you will end up with is a list of places that will be local Japanese businesses that are selling shochu, nihonshu, whiskey, and then go to the place nearby and
Mm-hmm.
like be polite. Just you don't have to speak Japanese. You don't
Yep.
have to speak Japanese.
Yep.
And even if the store clerk doesn't speak any English, if you go and you're polite, they want to help you out. Like they will be excited to sell you something.
Right there.
They
That's
will.
true.
That's it's true.
100%. Yep.
And like go and just be polite and be friendly and be like, yo, I like Japanese whiskey. I like sake. And they might try to figure out how to communicate with you, and you can try to figure out how to communicate with
Right,
them.
sweet, flour, whatever.
Yeah, and that's all that really matters, and they will do their best to help you.
Yep.
And then the thing that's amazing, which is you said this to me when we were at the liquor shop a little earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, "Yo, I don't know, this X, Y, and Z about sake." You were like, "Oh, nihonshu." You were like, "I'm more of a shochu guy," and I was like, "All right." And I was like, I know I like a bunch of different nihonshus. And then the dude who was sitting at the desk, I went over to him and I was like, yo, I like for me, I like Nabeshima is a nihonshu that I like specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And I went over to him and I was like, yo, I said to him in Japanese, yeah, usually I like Nabeshima. You don't have any Nabeshima here. What do you recommend for me?
Osusume.
Osusume. Recommendation.
Osusume
Yep.
means
Osusume.
what do you recommend?
What do you recommend?
Yeah, osusume.
And then
Say it, motherfucker.
Osusume.
No, not you. No, I meant the audience.
I'm reinforcing the learning opportunity.
You're amazing, man. Thank you, Matthew.
So yeah, and then he talked to me a little bit, and then actually he was like, "Yo, Dasai and Nabeshima are actually a little bit similar," which is not untrue.
Yep.
And then we went a couple different directions from there, and then we brought over the things that we have here. And the suige is because I love suige, and that one was interesting.
The drunken whale.
Drunken whale, suige.
Swiggy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, when you come to Japan, definitely. I mean, if you're in Japan, if you're new to Japan, if you're coming to Japan and stuff, yeah, don't go. I mean, because I think most like international people that come to Japan, visitors, I think a lot of them just go to Don Quixote and they buy all their souvenirs, all their stuff there, and that's great. You can't go wrong. But the thing is, if you want to go better, if you want to go level up, yeah, just do what Matthew just said.
Yeah, Google like Sakeya on your Google Maps, and
That's right.
like local businesses will pop up. Support the local businesses.
Yeah, actually, that's a great point. Yeah, support the local businesses,
Yeah.
man. The mom and pop shops. The place
Dude.
we went to, that's a mom and pop shop.
Yo, you know what this makes me think of? Your paintings, your new paintings.
What, these guys?
No,
Oh.
the ones that you showed me in the room that you were working on right now, like the old folks, right?
I don't want to show these
All
guys.
right, don't
Not just
show them.
yet.
Don't
They're
not
ready.
yet.
They're
But
not ready.
okay,
I was
but
gonna finish them tonight, but I don't think I think I'm too wasted to fucking finish them.
either way, though, yo, it makes me excited
Yeah.
because there's a connection to what like your creativity is and this conversation right now.
Oh my gosh, I understand exactly what you're saying. You guys don't, but yeah. No, that definitely does make sense. Yeah, fucking this guy right here, dude. Fucking yeah, awesome, man. Fucking I love you, man, Matthew.
Dude, I love you too,
Yeah.
bro. Then we getting a little tipsy on this alcohol.
Oh my God, you haven't been this drunk in a long time in the Got Faded Japan. Well, maybe about two episodes. No, the Friday the 13th episode was pretty
Oh, yeah.
faded.
Friday the 13th wasn't that long ago either.
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago. I did that with Scott from Creepdown. You know the
Oh.
band Creepdown?
No, I don't.
Oh my God.
I don't.
Creepdown's one of my favorite hard rock bands here in Japan and stuff. It's
Nice.
Scott and a bunch of other guys and stuff, and they're just absolutely amazing. Yep, he showed up with it was like gin and soda in a can.
Oh yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
so awesome. It's like 7% a can. It's like fucking half chemical.
A 7%. Yeah, that's a
Yeah, you drink
yeah,
like
not a pop.
We
Not a
drank
pop.
3 of those, dude. I was fucking out of my mind. I was like, oh my God.
Nah.
And then from there and stuff, we started drinking wine. Pff, bad idea. I had the worst hangover the next day. I had an event at a venue in Asagaya. Oh my God.
Ooh.
It was a hard rock event too. Here, can I have some of that?
Yeah, of course. Look.
Mm.
Compare. I want some compare and contrast of notes. What do you got?
At this
What do you
point in
got?
time, it's kind of hard because I'm.
No, they're different. It's still different.
Oh yeah,
It's different. It's different.
God, dude, you know what? This smells like flowers too, but it's like different kind of
Yeah,
flowers.
the Yuki no Boshi is dope, man. That's a real ass Nihonshu.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
That's an impressive Nihonshu.
It's a beautiful Nihonshu.
You like for
God.
real, if you were to buy this in a glass in the United States, it would probably cost $30 or something.
Whoa. Yeah, actually, that's really interesting. That's a great question. How much would this cost in the United
Yeah,
States?
I don't know that you would have the opportunity unless you go somewhere that has a market for that sort of thing.
You'd be surprised. I was in Michigan.
Mm.
Get this. I was in Michigan.
God damn, that is good.
Yeah. And I was in Ypsilanti.
Oh, Ypsilanti. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know
Ypsilanti.
Ypsilanti?
This is one of those things like Walla Walla, Washington. Ypsilanti is
Oh my
like one of those
God.
places.
All right.
Well,
So,
I got some Detroit connections. So.
yeah, oh my God, there we go. So anyway, I was driving from like northern Michigan
Mm.
all the way down to like where was it? Was I staying at my sister's house? It doesn't matter. I was driving down to like downtown, right? So I stopped in Ypsilanti and we had to get some like food and some drinks and I had to use a bathroom and stuff. So it's kind of like a pit stop. And we went to like this kind of like a mega liquor store kind of
Mm.
place.
Mm.
And they had all sorts of Japanese whiskeys and all sorts of Japanese. I mean, I don't know if they're famous or not, like Nihonshus or Shochus or anything. They look kind of generic, but it's just like you'd be surprised like what
You
they
never
actually
know.
have,
You never know.
I remember looking at the prices and but I mean, they're in dollars and stuff. And this is like maybe like 4 years ago. So everything's completely different at this point.
I've been drinking the Honshu for like how long? How are we doing on how? Because I had to need a bathroom break, bro.
You gotta use the restroom.
Yeah,
Should we just kill the show?
I don't know. That's up to you.
Well, we've been doing it for like 2 hours.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yo,
This is like a movie at this point. Wait. Is this like a Netflix series or something? Like,
no wonder.
Episode
Now I
two.
feel justified. I had to go for a while, and I was like, "Yo, let's keep going. Let's keep
Okay.
going."
No. See, trust me, man. Once you have to use the bathroom, it's the best time to close the show because that means you drank so much.
Yeah.
So, all right.
All right.
And that
All
way
right.
I'm
All right.
drinking
All right.
alcohol. That's like a good point to say, like, okay, enough is enough, right? So we gotta stop with the booze. Well, we'll have a couple more drinks.
Yeah,
But
We'll finish what we're
but
doing.
not on camera. Oh my gosh. So, all right, so Fader, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna stop with this episode because well, Matthew has to use the restroom. I gotta get another drink, and actually it's getting kind of late, and tomorrow believe it or not, I gotta go to a funeral.
I know.
So anyway, so Faders, I want to say thank you very much for tuning into this very special episode of Got Faded Japan.
I'm so glad to be here, bro.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you very much, Matthew, for being on the
Dude.
show. Dude, one more time, I want you to plug everything
Okay.
that you have.
Okay.
So,
Am I-
I'm
I'm-
going to be in the show notes below, but just please tell everybody that's like they're driving their car like, what does he got?
All right. So my name is Matthew Moss, right?
Mhm.
I am the chair and one of the co-founders of Tokyo Game Bridge. You can find us at tokyogamebridge.org because we're an organization.
That's right.
And let's see, once you get there, I mean, we got Instagram, but come and join our Discord if you want to be a part because our community is bumping. And I am a designer and a consultant and a creative director is really what my job position is. And I got to pee like a motherfucker.
Wow, I haven't spit in a long time.
I got a spit take out of it.
I got all
I know,
right.
that's a real spit take.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something like important, like, and I really had
Come-
this really big
Come out.
project. And
Yo, I got
Kyoto,
so much.
Kyoto.
and
Tell me
yeah,
about
I know.
Kyoto.
Come to the C2 Tokyo Game Bridge Kyoto event. Come to Bit Summit. And after late at night, we'll
Boom.
be down at Kamogawa.
Boom.
Come hang out at the
Boom.
river.
Boom.
There'll be fun
Boom.
things
Boom.
happening.
Boom.
And
Boom.
we're going to make a
Boom.
tiki bar happen
Boom.
too.
Dude, I'm really thinking about that. Like, maybe not a bar, but a tiki night.
Yeah,
Hell
a
yeah.
tiki night. Yeah.
Oh my god, with games and shit,
Yep.
that'd be so fucking
Dude.
dope.
Dude.
Yo,
Dude.
all right, you gotta piss.
I
All right,
do.
cool. All right, bathrooms are there. Remember, all right, lights on the left. Like, just like go through that door.
All right. I know where it is.
All right, yeah, you got it. Faders, thank you very much for tuning into this very special episode of Got Faded Japan. Wow, did we get faded this time? Before we close the show, I just really want to show these bottles of beautiful Nihonshu. side by side. If I can I do this? I don't know. Maybe I can. Okay. So here we go. These are the bottles of Nihonshu that we reviewed, and they are absolutely spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. I highly recommend that you pick up every single bottle. The most expensive bottle that we did have was the Dasai, of course, because Dasai is super famous. And this one right here was Desai. Oh, no, not that one. Desai 48. What's it, 48? No. Desai. Well, holy shit. Yes, Desai 45. And this bottle right here actually wasn't too expensive. It was like maybe 3,000 yen, 2,000 yen, something like that. And which isn't too bad. But yeah, so definitely pick it up if you can. Pick up any of these bottles in Nihonshu. And faders, once again, thank you so much for fading with us tonight. And if we got too wasted, if we got too faded, hey man, it's Got Faded Japan. You know what you're in for. Yeah, ho! And so thank you so much, and we look forward to fading with you again in the future. All right, and once again, support everything that Matthew is doing. Go down to the show notes, click on those links, check it out. If you're coming to Japan, come to one of his events and support, support, support. You're back. Holy smokes.
Yo, thank you. The sense of urgency is a little bit less intensive at the moment. Thank you so much.
All right, so we got another hour. No,
Yeah, you got. I got.
no,
now that
no,
that's
forget the
done, we're
drink,
good.
man. I'm gonna just chill. All right, faders, thank you so much, dude.
Johnny.
Punch it. Love you, brother, man. You have a good day.
Yo, I'm
Take
so
care.
glad. I'm happy for you, man.
I'm
Like,
man. What you're doing in Japan is absolutely fantastic.
dude, man, I'm
Dude,
grateful.
but you know, a lot of people come to Japan and they just don't do anything. You know, they just like do their own thing or whatever. They don't care about anybody else's stuff. But not you. You do things for other people. You make things that help people. That is fucking beautiful, man. It's an absolutely beautiful thing to do. I wish
Thank you.
everybody did that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's nice to be here.
It's
I'm
nice to
very
be here too.
grateful.
All right. There's too much love in this place. Let's get wasted. All right,
All right,
Peter,
let's
thank you
keep
so
going.
much.
Yo,
Peace.
thank you.